but I think we are on.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay. Hello to everybody that clicked this link. I am on the official Tyesse Jackson report. So what I want you to do, number one, is make a decision to subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe and follow him, because I know you guys enjoy church conversation, church news. You also enjoy when you do politics, sports, movies, TV shows, food reviews. Tyesse Jackson is doing it. And I don't think there's anyone else on the internet that I have seen, let me say that is doing it in a positive, not negative, nasty way. I watch, I enjoy. So
thank you, brother.
If you missed that from when I used to be on 5 days a week doing that, Tyesse has that anointing on him and that gifting, and he is doing it very, very well. So hit subscribe and follow him. And I just connected it just now to this platform so you can see him and see us, because we have a great conversation. And this is the second time this happened. Okay, so you said the best reluctant.
I'm out of church block because I always wanted this kind of statement sector. That sector is that sector is no joke over there now, Larry. So the urban church sector, and I'm not talking about the mainstream because it's about three or four, but that other sector is really, really like, oh my God, it's too much.
Well, in my opinion, I don't even know who you're talking about. The maybe I do, but you are doing. Let me tell you something. Let me say this to the people who feel like they are the it, and you do need to feel like that you are the it, and that God has only made you to be you. That's definite. But those of you that feel like you are the only one that can do what you're doing. Now, you're the only one that can do it in the way that you're doing it.
Yeah.
But what I was doing, I hadn't seen nobody do it. But Tyesse is doing it. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think he does it his own unique way, but it's that same good time in the chat family connection that LRL was built off of, so I can't suggest any other platform I can say that what I just said. I can't say that about nobody except for Tyesse platform, so I don't even, although you do cover some church content, you are a church dude like me, the way that you do it is unique to you. And anybody that got good sense and anybody that is probably discerning can tell it with the first watch. I watched you one time and I haven't stopped.
Oh, wow. I appreciate that, brother. It means a lot because, out here on these streets, the link ups and the, all of the collaborations, a lot of times they don't really work out. And so when you get authentic connections and communications, it is a godsend, and I appreciate you, all of the love and the support that you have bestowed upon this platform. It means the world to me. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play the video, Larry. I'm going to play the video, and then we'll talk about it on the side. For context, I believe this is around 2016. We do not have an exact date, but we believe it was around 2016, and it is believed to be at either Convocation or AIM or some official Kojic function. Okay, so we're gonna play it right now. It's about 1 minute and 36 seconds, and we'll talk about it on the other side with Dr. Reid.
I know this is not talk you hear from the pulpit, but the young people need to know I walked and I tried to find myself through other men in the church, in the grand old church. What am I doing? I'm taking the mask off. I'm taking the mask off. I'm taking the mask off. I'm telling the young people I'm coming clean. You want real? I'm real right now. You want real? I'm clear. I'm real. I'm transparent right now. You have no idea how many times I gave myself away trying to find myself. Just trying to feel loved because my daddy didn't cover me. just trying to feel love because I didn't have a man to show me what love was. And the only man that loved me lusted me when I was 8, and that's all I knew to look for. So playing the piano, speaking in tongues, but somebody seeing me on the piano and coming and saying, let me help you, only to make me twice the son of hell he was. You don't know what's going on with your kids. And you let your discernment go when you look at their friends and don't discern what's in them. Oh, that's just Johnny. That's just Sally. You don't understand what's going on right now. Katy Perry is turning the girls out. Talking about I kissed the girl and I liked it. You don't hear what I'm telling you. These young girls are just as bad as the boys in homosexuality, but you don't see it. You don't see it. You don't see it.
That's a lot to unpack, Larry.
Yeah, Tyesse, but you were hitting, and that's the reason why I'm doing. And I pray some of my partners do not see this because they're going to text me and go to puss. I said I want to rest the rest of the day, but you were walking right down the right street, and that's why I just had to get up here, man. When I tell you that video is so loaded, and the long version of that video is what I saw years ago in review. It got worse. It got worse. This is the same video where he ended up talking about sort of connecting these gospel artists and preachers and bishops who are same gender loving. He started calling them vampires. And the main person that he was talking about was B Slade.
Okay.
B Slade told me in 2016, and I'm telling y'all the edited version, although we not saying that to eye right now, I still respect B Slade's privacy.
Yeah.
But he told me about this, and he said that that's when him and Donnie McClurkin basically, where he won't fooling up with Donnie McClurkin no more. But an opportunity presented itself, and this was at a Stellar Awards, to where he was able to actually confront Donnie about it. In that time, Donnie kept getting confronted because he kept saying sideways stupid stuff. And when Kim Burrell's thing came out, he was saying sideways stupid stuff. So he ended up having to come on live and issue an apology, which I covered on the platform. And he wasn't specific to B Slade. He wasn't specific to certain people names he called, but it was generic. I accepted it as this is an apology for Donnie McClurkin, and we're going to accept it. But at the time, my panelists, and the video's still up on my platform. You got to go all the way back to 2016, 17. No, 16. And I accepted it as what it was, but he basically confessed that sometimes he talked too much.
Okay.
And sometimes Ray Bishop got it to the date, because B Slade told me this in 2016. So it had to be long before, because it had been years since it had happened. So
right. Okay.
That is right. And it was a cultural convocation. And I think it was either youth night or they went into the youth night.
Okay.
But he called the children around and those that had been touched by pastors. Now, this is, hold on, I'm going to say that later. Nancy, remind me to explain how Don McClurkin can get boys. So anyway, God be forgot. So what ended up happening was he called him around. He went into the vampire situation and he mentioned Tone or B Slade over the pulpit in front of all these people.
Oh, wow.
So this is what made B Slade not like him. Okay. Because he's basically like, you a sissy just like I'm a sissy. Why would you say my name?
Yeah.
Like, which puts a target on my back, and I'm already going through all of this different stuff that I'm dealing with because of the Lexi thing, So, it. In fact, I think that when Don McClurkin did that, it was the same year of the Lexi. Can somebody find out when the Lexi thing was? The interview. I want to say that was possibly the same year, or either happened after that. But anyway, B Slade was already dealing with stuff in the gospel music community even before the Lexi thing. It was already rumors that was circulating already. And it wasn't like B Slade was hiding. B Slade was not hiding his sexuality from no one. It just wasn't publicized on a major national gospel show. And when that did happen, it just made it worse, and it made it worse, and it made it worse.
Yeah.
So I don't know if somebody can find out when that Lexi thing aired.
I'm trying to look right now.
Yeah, but
I remember it was bad, Larry, because I remember Shirley Caesar was supposed to perform with Tone at the celebration of gospel, and she swapped out him with Ty Tribbett. I was like, whoa. Right. It was really, really a lot going on. So Tone, he did go through a lot. He did go through a lot, and it made him bitter, and it made him turn into, in my opinion, it was 15 years ago. You see, okay, so that's he was getting the back to back. Yeah, he was getting back to back. So it was evidently 2010. And in my opinion, Tyesse, he still ain't healed. He's still not healed. Yep. Hey, can I say something, Larry, about that? Okay. On my former platform, we covered some of that energy that happened with him when he basically came out. He was very upset with how everybody was giving Daryl Walls a lot of protection and energy. And he came out, he was like, why y'all didn't give me any of that? And are you sure of that? Because that was my argument. Remember when Daryl Wall thing came out, but soon as that thing hit the internet, I went live immediately. Like 5,000-6,000 people was on watching me live, and I said, y'all are handling Daryl. Mary, everybody went up under that boy's post and was praising him, comforting him, da. But nobody did that with B Slade. So I highlighted. And when I was on my former platform, I mean, we kind of like we're not as nice as we could have been, because we were like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, it was a different time, it was a different era. Get over it, move on. And I could have been a little more nicer. We could have been a little more nicer at that time. So I just want to say, if looking back, that was probably like 6 years ago, Larry. I probably would have handled that conversation a little bit differently, because I can imagine the hurt he went through being in an industry that you loved and you wanted to really be something really big in, and then to have everybody turn on you and then make you out to be, the person that's wearing the scarlet letter. It probably was very hurtful at that time. So I just wanted to say, on my part, we could have handled that conversation differently, Larry. That's all I wanted to say. Yeah, and I could have handled my reaction differently. What ended up happening, people went to Tony's page. Now, mind you, by this time, me and B Slade had already met. We met in LA. I went to his studio, went to his home for 2 days. We hung out on my track, I Feature. That's before I met all y'all. But he produced that. I wrote it. Nobody could do. Nobody in gospel could give me the music, because I had it on a click track and just sung it out. And he was able to create a world around it, and I didn't have to change none of my lyrics or my structure. The man is talented, and he is absolutely amazing. But he was handled the best that he could have been handled by an uneducated religious community. Yeah. And I'm not saying what they did to him was right. It won't. But what else could they have done? He is the very first person to say, I like boys like me. I'm Holy Ghost filled, love the Lord. And I'm going to sing gospel and everything else. Tony B Slade he showed up like a prophetic model of what the future of the church is going to look like, a truth-telling church. Donnie McClurkin was lying in that video you just played, and he still lied today. He died. He can't tell the truth
because it's not in our religion to tell the truth. It's not in the origin of our Western Christianity faith. It's built on a lie. It's all about wearing masks, keeping up appearances, hiding your truth, burying your pain and wearing a smile on top of it. You know, your testimony is a full lie because it's only half of the story, the part that you can tell, so they can turn into a praise break. You know, that we are a lying church. But Donnie, B Slade was the picture of the future of the church where people tell the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, a lot of people have asked more than determined, why did Daryl Walls get a lot of grace? I just think it was the era that we were in. I think the scenario, it really wasn't as salacious as other stories have been concerning, you know, LGBTQ people. And so maybe that allowed people, and then, you know, the family is really beloved in the gospel community. So maybe a lot of things together padded that. And then again, this is many years removed from B Slade. So maybe it was the times. Maybe that's all I can think of. It was the times. No. What do you think, Larry?
I don't agree with that. It's hypocrisy. And I don't agree.
I'm always trying to be the Aquarius, like,
but we both Aquariuses, you know, days apart. That what you do is what you just did is what I do that sometimes on certain topics. Okay. Like when I know somebody, have a relationship with somebody, I give both sides, you know, like that. But I don't know. It's like when I turn 47, it's like I don't even care about it anymore. I'm gonna tell you, and if you don't like me, fine. Me and Juanita Bottom just got into it the other day. I was like, okay, that's fine. This ain't our first time for us.
How do you feel about Lexi in her interview and the relationship between Lexi and B Slade? I know he and Lexi are friends.
Ray. Well, I interviewed Lexi, and we're supposed to be doing another one, and we will. And we talked about it openly.
Okay.
Oh, that caused the mess. Oh my Lord. Cold. B Slade is very sensitive, and at the same time, he is a bitch. I mean, the worst kind,
Larry,
of bitch that you can bitch. And I would say bitch, but you need to understand how much of a bitch this man. He cannot handle someone not celebrating him and telling him how great he is, and then at the same time telling them the truth and not be taken aback that you are the great B Slade. Tony, see, for me, you got opinion.
Okay, that may be a diva, Larry. That's a diva.
Okay, a diva bitch. Well, however, that is and it's in his personality. And it's horrible. It's horrible. I would love us to be on good terms, but we wouldn't ever be friends like that because we are not that. We don't click like that. If I can't tell you the truth,
okay,
and we stay friends, like me and Love it. Y'all see me say, look, I don't agree right this ain't that, da. But I love that man. I love him for who he is, for who I know love it to be. If you're in my life, you gotta be able to take it. You got to be able to take it. And that B Slade can't handle someone that tell him the truth and love him at the same time. Juanita Bottom can't neither. Don McClurkin can't neither. And it's because we make these people kings and we praise them and lift them up in the church. So they're not used to criticism. So when people like William McCrae, you, myself come up, we give an opinion that does not praise them and it doesn't, really, flatter them. They can't handle it. We the devil. We the devil. Because we just have an opinion. But the way the Black church is structured, it makes kings. Kings kill people. Fathers don't. And the church makes kings. So anyway, get back to what I was saying, what Reid said.
The Lexi interview.
It's a full mess. They still, if you mention the one name to the other behind the scenes, nothing but cuss words. They do not get along. What Lexi say happened, what B Slade say happened, that story ain't even nowhere near.
Okay.
Lexi said, I told him to not say, I said, I'm going to ask you this question. Are you gay? Or you like men? However the question was. She said, you say no, so that we can reserve and save all that's happening, because his star was rising at the same time all the rumors were too. So she was trying to clear that. And it actually made it bigger, because then he answers, yeah. She's like, oh my God. What am I going to do? This is what she said in the interview. But B Slade told me that's a lie. That she was.
So that scenario played out with, I know you remember her, Larry, Jamie Foster Brown, back in the day. She had a magazine called Sister to Sister Magazine.
Yes, I remember that.
And the exact same thing happened with her and Tevin Campbell. And it was really, it was the same energy, the same thing that happened. But a lot of times, over time, both parties have different versions of how it transpired. And you'll never, ever get to the crux of it unless those two people have a sit down. And even then, sometimes people don't want to accept, no, that ain't what I told you, or that ain't what we agreed upon.
Yeah, because they were friends. So they're never going to agree on that. I mean, the way that they tell, it ain't the same story. It's not the same story. They're never going to agree on that. They can come to a place and say, look, we just got two separate experiences, but I love you. We're going to work on this. But I do not see how. I agree with that, Ray. Now, we don't know what the truth is, but I do agree that Lexi did look shocked when he gave his answer. Now she did. Now getting to Mother Donnie. This is Larry. This is not Tyesse. Yeah.
Well, I cut up, so I'm just saying. But you know what they say. We always, the bloggers, they always coming at us. So I just, I try to on Sundays offer just a little more grace and flexibility on Sundays only. But if you catch me on Monday night, it's baby listen.
Okay, Mother Donnie is a miserable, mentally disturbed, Black female trapped in a male's body.
Larry, that was a whole diagnosis, brother.
Absolutely, and I said what I said.
Wow.
I have had conversations with this man, my own dealings with this man, and he is not, in my opinion, he's in a mental crisis. And it's the result of being in this strange relationship with his sexuality. Why can't you just tell yourself the truth and say, I am still right now fully and completely gay and allergic to puss everywhere? Just say that.
Well, religiosity and trauma together, that is one of the most toxic bonds you could ever have. The church and unhealed trauma together. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a
and what's strange, and I've seen other preachers do this, he come at gay. He come at it at church. But from the church over, he looking for the gay to put it in his mouth, to put it in his bread basket, to take it back to his hotel room. You have got to be mentally ill to move like that. I heard me and Brian Carn got into it one time because I said, Brian, stop preaching on holiness. I said, you don't live it. He said, it don't make no difference. This word is the word. What's right is right. If I preach on myself, I gotta preach on myself. You're mentally ill. You can stand there and preach against something that you are going to leave the pulpit to go and do.
Yeah, that's not, no. Something's off.
Way off. You're disassociated from your core self. You have two or more personalities living in you, and you swap and go in between all of them depending on the situation. And this is before, now y'all see him turn into a grace person. Y'all see Brian that's more, y'all need to pat me on the back, because some of the Brian Con y'all see today is the direct result of Larry Reid behind the scene for several years. being more real, being more straightforward. And I feel like when it comes to preachers that tell the truth, I am the first. I have not met no preacher that does not care about the money and the reputation like me and will tell the truth. I don't know. I haven't met one. And y'all know some of the people I know. This is all of them included, whether they my friends or not. They're not going to get online and tell you the truth. Prime example, since y'all know me and Lovey is cool, but I'm gonna show you a prime example of how first of all, I don't think he should have done that live, but if he were gonna do the live, then he should have said what I said. I put my peen in that boy's bread basket. I put it in his eye. I put it in his ear. I put it in his mouth. Tell the whole story. But what Lovey did was the preacher way. It's not wrong for them, but for me, it's inauthentic.
Yeah.
I have to be able, if somebody like that telling all your sexual escapades, then just say, look, hey, I did it. Yeah, I did it. Versus the saying, you know, I chose improper, which was a Reid. And that was hilarious to me. But just need to tell the truth. Donnie should have said in this video, because what he did was master level manipulation. He blamed violations, molestations for his same sexual attraction and blamed other people from giving him this gay while as he grew up in the church. Do you know how many Black people and Black church people who believe that you can have something happen to you as a child, same sex, and it makes you gay?
Well, it can.
No.
Oh, no, Larry, it can.
No, it can't. We ain't gonna agree.
Well, okay, let me walk. Well, let me try to walk through this. So, if you have a sexual experience and it's not of your own accord, or someone does something to you, there becomes a confusion at times when that trauma is attached to pleasure, right?
Agreed.
And so now you are trying to figure out why you like the pleasure, but that was not your choice. It was bestowed upon you through a sexual act of somebody else being violent or taking. So what happens is that a lot of times people tend to, I hate to use the word like we're in traffic, but they tend to merge into a sexuality that was not originally their trajectory. I'm trying to be as professional as possible.
Great. Let me hand clap you. And I fully agree with everything you said, except for that last little bit. But I agree with that. When you have an experience early on in life, a sexual experience, it has the capability of affecting your sexual attraction and desire. It can never make you gay. Just like you can't be touched as a young person by the opposite sex or have full-blown sex with them and that make you straight. It's impossible. And it's psychologically proven by the American Psychological and Sexuality Association. It's impossible. Although people do it and say it and point to it. I did it for years. I think I did it when I was on the T.S. Madison show. My earliest thought is the smell of a man's crotch, and then my big wheel. I was molested from far back before my thoughts can think, all the way up until I remember when he moved at 12 years old. And I began to, that early touching gives you your initial experience with intimacy and what you call intimacy and what you see as connection. And if that sexual act brought you pleasure, then that pleasure that you experience, you go and chase that. You might chase it in another form, in a whole nother gender. You may chase it, in an entirely different thing. It can be a sport, it can be a craft, but you keep looking for that high. But that will never make
there is a period after that happens where a lot of people, gay, lesbian, whatever, they become a part of the community, the LGBTQ community, and in various ways. It could be clubbing, it could be you know what I'm saying, the drag community, it could be music, whatever. And because of that, people then tend to identify that person as gay because of their association and because of, you know, who they are now having intimate relations with.
One thing
I hope this makes sense to the people in the back, y'all.
Yeah, because, I mean, what you're saying, Tyesse, is what I've heard for several years, and a lot of people in the chat probably more agree with you than me. But I had no choice but to do the work because I was by myself in North Carolina in the country, confused, and didn't tell nobody until after I got married what happened to me. I set my parents down and told them. I guess I should have told them not to tell nobody, because by the time I got back to my house, everybody in the whole family knew, and I told them who did it to me. So then they had to start lying and say they didn't, you know. So that didn't go well. And I would suggest anybody talk to your therapist. Even if you love your parents really good, you need to go talk to your therapist. Your parents are your protectors. And my parents were trying to see who did it. Is this true? What? You know, all these years later. But I get what you're saying. But what is gay? Maybe that's what we need to define what gay is. Same sex. It's more than gay is more than same sex attraction.
Right.
Gay is your sexuality, who you are. These people that you said were molested and then they start exploring and then they end up in going to the gay community. However, if they are gay, they'll stay. If they're not, they're going to conform. People keep saying to me when these people talking about they're not gay no more, I say they were never gay. You can't ungay, just like you can't unstraight. So the idea of just because a girl kissed a girl, a boy has sex with a boy, I don't care if they did it one time or 100, that does not make them gay. That does not make them gay. That makes them participating in same-sex sex. That's what that means.
Well, if that's the case, then Larry, you're saying that there is a detachment of who they truly are when they have those sex experiences.
What you mean by that? You about
so if they're not gay, Larry, then if they're not gay, right? Okay, they're not gay. So if they are participating in same-sex, you know, proclivities, do they detach themselves, or are they centered in it at the moment?
Depends on the person, but it's pleasure. It's just pleasure. That's all it is. Because they were introduced. We're talking about those that are introduced through a violation, a molestation, who then point to that as the reason why they like men, which is what Donnie did. This is master level manipulation.
Oh yeah,
that is not how it works. That's not how any of this works. Let's have the same conversation with a straight person who's been violated. Would you say that act is the reason why you're straight? No. What they tend to say is that act was the beginning of them beginning to make wrong choices for themselves. That's what they're going to say. But only when a man likes a man who's been violated, he points to the violation for his gay, because he cannot admit that he was already gay and born that way. This conversation, we're going to fuss about it. We ain't going to agree. But this year, I have read and studied on this and worked and helped people through this. You cannot prove what I'm saying is correct. I mean, it's incorrect. You can't do it.
Well, you know, if that's the case, then Larry, then like, you know, what you're basically saying is that your sexuality can be interchangeable.
You make a decision. No.
Your sexuality can be interchangeable, and it may not be all the way centered in who you are based on a plethora of factors.
Sort of. You sort of, yeah. You I think you sort of get what I'm saying. All of us are like that. Although we may identify as straight, identify as gay, identify as well, bi,
Yeah.
identify as what's another sexual, pansexual. We may identify as all these things, but whatever identity we wear is the choice we have made for ourselves and about ourselves. And it's the result of what we have uncovered concerning our truth. I do not care who you are. You were born sexual, and your decisions that you do throughout your life is just conditioning, and you chasing the pleasure on the way that you got the pleasure the last time. But who you are, you born with it, straight or gay, bi or pan. Sexuality is part of your identity. Now, it's only a small part of your identity, but it is who you are. And you can't shift it to the left. You can't shift it to the right. It's who you are. Now, you can have sex with whoever you want to have sex, however you want to bust your nut. But whoever and however you have sex at that time does not define your sexual identity. You just busting a nut. Simple as that. And what is it? Oh, yeah, I get to that. But it's just simple as that, and that's just what the truth is. And you cannot. Somebody talking about, well, there's a few people named I can go. Genesis Warren, because she said it publicly. I don't want to call her Nick. I think she told me privately. But there's another prophet who y'all always talk about online. She used to be with girls too, But this is.
I knew you talking about it.
Yeah. Well, she can talk about that, especially. Oh, I ain't gonna say that. It's because now it's been speculated online about that. But that you can't change it. If you can walk away from gay, you were never gay. If God can save you and deliver you from gay, you weren't ever gay.
But what about that lady, Larry? She still dresses very masculine. The lady, she's delivered. She got a husband and kids.
Jackie Hill Perry.
Yeah, but she still dresses kind of.
Brother Perry is deceived.
Nah.
Sir, can you stop lying to them white folks, them white evangelicals, sir? Quit lying. But see, this is why I go so hard when it comes to people lying and manipulating and stuff like that. I tell my truth and have told it over and over for several years, and everything that I've done. They still call me gay. I don't identify as gay. I don't. They call me straight. I let them call me straight too. My name is Larry. That's what my name is. And my sexuality, I'm a spiritual man. You can't be spiritual and just be one thing, because spirituality is everything. So
it seemed like it seemed like, Larry, that would be very traumatic.
Wow.
Sister, I don't know her personally, but to have to do that, and there's some serviceability to it, I'm sure, but in order to deny who you are, to be something for other people or to put forth the image, that seems like that would be so traumatic to me.
It is traumatic.
To live that daily.
Yeah, and that's how you get dissociative disorder. You start splitting your personality. You got one for the church, you got one for the job, and then at night you get on Jack and Grinder and you turn into that person. So now you got 3 different aspects of yourself that you jump in between, and each one has its own life. And where's his own life? Yeah, yeah. So that is what it is. I see somebody saying, can we add William to the conversation?
Hell no.
Because William is still figuring it out.
No. Because maybe we're going somewhere else. Oh my God. There will be no monetization from Google AdSense, I promise you.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is that I think the church has really done a really horrible job of having the conversation that me and you're having. And it's a very simple conversation. Let's put the cards out on the table. Let's talk about this. Let's go through this line by line, precept by precept. But it's not good for the bucket. So is not going to really happen the way it needs to happen, Larry, because who's going to come in and shout on that Sunday if there's a state of the union like conversation around sexuality in the Black church, a real conversation?
First of all, you can't have the conversation without an openly gay and honest person. So the church cannot have the conversation.
Yeah.
You can't have a conversation like this with straight people because you can't lead it. It's just like the female conversation. Black church do terrible with that. They be having women conferences. Hell, TD Jakes, woman thou loose. Use a whole closet of sissy. Let Sarita and somebody else sit up. You see what I mean? You know, it's the way the church is structured. It's not set up for a real conversation about femininity and women. It's not set up for a conversation around sexuality, same gender loving people. It's not set up because you have to have somebody who is sitting, walking, talking in their truth to lead the conversation, or it's not going to have any effect. So, and they're not going to call Tyesse to sit beside Bishop Jakes to have the conversation. No, they want to get the Bishop Morton, all these straight married men, as far as we know, and have them up there talking about something they don't have any experience in. You can't do it. Like somebody that said in the chat, they said, me and my husband knew our sons were gay from toddlers. My husband tried, listen to this. My husband tried to get them in sports, but he ultimately let it go and realized they're gay. That is dumb. To explain it like that is let me know you don't have a clue. You got gay children and don't know what gay is. Because there are football players, wrestlers, rappers who are all gay and openly gay. And what you have, Black community thinks a man that is gay is weak and less than a man. And that any man that is gay is feminine. That's not true. Come to Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's not true. These thugs sagging, smoking, weed, shooting, fighting, and get on their knees for their husband and their boyfriend and want them to put their fist in them. So we've got to get educated. We are not educated. And as a result, people stay closeted. People do not have the conversations that they need to have. People out there right now catching a new STD because they don't have nobody to talk to, and whatever's in the dark goes crazy. You got to bring it into the light to bring some order to it. So what Donnie McClurkin did was a whole bunch of manipulation. Basically, whether he purposely did it or not, he let you see the relationship he has with his sexuality, which is, it's not my fault, but it's the fault of my circumstance and everybody that done X, Y, Z to me. There is no kind of responsibility that he's taken. He's not been an adult at that moment. He is blaming. That same man standing in that pulpit trying to get me, Nathan Lotley, Antoine Shepard, to go up in his bedroom after we sit down there and talk for almost 2 hours. I ain't got but 2 hours to drive home. Why I need to come in there and sleep and then leave in the morning? Because you looked at me and you wanted ping.
Well, maybe he wanted to go over some Bible scriptures, Larry. We
already done that. We done that while we were sitting there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You know, so, and I know some of you in the chat, I don't agree. That's fine. Live and keep living and watch people. And you can say, dog, that Larry was right. You know, a lot of people, I just believe that in about 80 years after I'm gone, they're going to be pulling my video and say, this man told us this.
That's how it happens a lot of times.
Years ago. Yeah, I know I'm that person. I know my recognition and praise, I mean, it'll be a lot, but it won't be as much until after I'm gone, because I'm working from the future, coming back and telling everybody about what I learned and saw. This is how come I had a, I ain't gonna say that. I won't say that. But I can't involve myself in conversations where people don't think. I believe the church failed when the theologians and scholars stopped having councils that dialogue about the canon of the scripture. These conversations are so important, bro. I get what you're saying. We weren't at the tables for that. There was white people.
You know what I learned, Larry, from watching that Iyanla episode with the Pay Sisters is that this stuff really it will weigh on you to the point where it shows up in your adult life. All of this unhealed trauma, all of this toxic dogma and all this stuff, when you really get to a point in your life, it will get to a point where you are sitting there and that pain has metastasized. All of that trauma has metastasized, and it may show up in your weight, your health, your relationships. And it's really, really tragic that we don't even have a holistic type approach to dealing with this in most of these churches. Like, we don't even really have anybody that can say, well, you know what, I think let's have a whole round table. Let's have a whole conversation about anybody in the church that is dealing with church hurt, or past or present. They're now making it seem like church hurt is people that don't want to be under leadership, and you don't want to
don't want to live. We don't want to live.
Live nothing. You know what I'm saying? So
even those of us that are deconstructing, they think we don't love God.
Yeah,
and they think we deny
falling away.
Yeah, and they think we deny Jesus. The devil is a lie. We just getting hold of to the right God, not the God of the Bible that was created by men who is schizophrenic, who's mean, judgmental. If you don't praise him and tell him all the time how great he is, he throws you away. You mess up one time, you're on your way to hell. That's the God of the Bible. That is not the true God. The true God is not Christian. Don't care nothing about your Bible. The true God is not Muslim. Don't care nothing about your Quran. So in those kind of conversations, the church can't have it. Number one, not smart enough. Number two, they're just not going to have it because it's not good for the business. Because the only way religion works is with fear and with control and lies. So the truth is the enemy to every religion. And you got to protect that bag.
Protect the buckets.
And the thing that was hypocritical with me with Donnie McClurkin, mother, what is crazy about that? Huh? Okay, Lana Davis, hush. That's what my fault.
Oh my
and
God.
He hits me up on IG, but you know I ain't got to respect the person. Sit quietly and listen. You got a whole gay identifying man, and you got a whole all things man that is sitting right here. You need a hush. You married to a woman with children. Shut up. See, this is what I'm talking about. You shouldn't even be talking on, and I'm not coming just to him, but this is a thing that happens. You don't get to have a conversation about same gender loving if you ain't never, as a man, had a dick in your mouth.
Oh,
as a woman, you can't talk about same gender loving if you never ate puss. Lead that conversation for the ones who've done it to lead it, because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't have no experience. Where in any business do we let people act like they experts with no experience? Only in the church. I ain't having it. That's why in my community, I got gay, straight, bi, pan, married, single, male, female, from the top of the ministry, from the board to then the spiritual leaders, the contractors, and the community looks like that. I often tell people, and this is another thing, because not Ty, but Ty, the gay community, your community, dizzy dumb crazy. Why are you guys going to churches that's not pastored by same gender loving people?
Oh, that's easy. The fear and what they have been told over the years about hell, it plays in the back of their head all the time, going to hell. And, so they feel that they stay, it's like Stockholm syndrome, spiritual Stockholm syndrome. They feel that they stay close or they stay connected, even if it's abusive, then they have a chance at making it in or being close to God. Because listen, I've heard some people say, Larry, well, sometimes Bishop go hard and I just choose some of the meat and spit out the bone. He's very nasty on some Sundays, Leviticus, Romans 1 or whatever. And I'm used to it right now.
Bishop Felton?
No, I'm just saying people say that's what people say in general. Like, well, sometimes Bishop may say something, or my pastor or my minister may say something, and yeah, it's really nasty, but I just learned to deal with it and I just move on. At 49, Larry, I'm not about to be in nobody ministry that is sitting up in the pulpit and talking about me like I am some type of vile, crazy, deranged person. I'm not doing that at 49. I'm sorry.
You have
I know there are a lot of gays that like to go, because we have church sissies and church, we call them church punks, because they like the church aesthetic or whatever. But even if you like church a lot, I'm still not going to sit up and allow that to be poured into me for years. That's crazy. That is bananas.
This is what I'm told.
It's torturous.
I don't understand it. If I don't understand it over here in that mongrel religion, but then when I go look at gay churches, the gay community, I get even more confused. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what in the whole hell are y'all doing? Oh, wow. Somebody said, a wise person told me if the bone is poison, the meat is too.
Yeah, I don't want the bone or the steak, and I don't want none of it. Just take the whole thing away from me.
And that's the reason why I can't be involved in certain conversations, because I'm going to have to call that out. And I'm not going to be nice about it. I'm not going to be rude and ugly, but I'm not going to be nice. I don't think nice is one of the words to describe me. I think kind is, but not nice. Because
when I say serviceability, also, Larry, I want to be clear about something. A lot of times in the LGBTQ community, there's a two-way serviceability. You have people that are doing the first lady's hair. You're in the back. You're frying 18,000 pieces of chicken, and these are LGBTQ folks. Or you're the armor bearer for the pastor. You're taking him to the airport, and they know you're LGBTQ. It's just that you just can't be affirmed.
Yeah.
We all know it's like a hidden secret. It's a elephant in the room. And so a lot of times your ego is fed off a position, and you feel like, okay, well, at least I'm in the fold, I'm in the know, so I'm good to go.
That's witchcraft. Witchcraft is and that's the bad kind of witchcraft. The negative bad witchcraft is I control you through domination, manipulation, compensation, adoration. And the list goes on. There's 7 of them in my second or third book I wrote. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
They do that. The church manipulates gays and women to keep you in there. Because without gays or women, there is no church. So that is a manipulation that gay people and women, same thing, women, why are you in a church? Well, the women are not at the top of the decision making. You should not be there. Your femininity is not safe. Gay people, you should not be there. Your gay ain't safe there. So you have to get out of that. Somebody asked me a question. They said, you put it up about, don't you believe somebody, can't God deliver you a gay? See, this is what y'all been programmed with. First of all, gay won't never in your Bible, it was put in there. Homosexual was not in your Bible, it was put in there. That's the beginning and the end. That's provable. That's a fact. That ain't my point of view. That's a fact. That is a researchable, measurable fact that it was put in there. Oh, no. You say I shut up. Yeah, you got to learn and listen, because you don't have the experience in that. You eat, suck, fuck, puss. You can't be in this. Oh, this is it. I have a question. If you are spirit-led, don't you believe God can deliver you from homosexuality? Do you believe God can deliver you from heterosexuality? What's the answer? No. Y'all think homosexuality is some kind of spirit came from somewhere and got in that person and possessed them, and it's a bad spirit. But y'all don't think that about your heterosexuality. When I tell you the black mind has been whitewashed, you've been resold with a white soul. Your African soul knows better than this. We are taught this is a lifestyle. You're right. That's what you're taught. And you are not born that way. That's right. That's what you're taught. It's wrong. You're born gay, you're born straight. Do you have the ability to participate in any kind of sexual arrangement you make for yourself? Absolutely. Some people choose to do it. Some people choose not to do it. Some of the people that choose to do it, they may do it for a few years of their life. They may do it just 1 or 2 times, or they may just do it with one person. And the rest of the time they sleep with the opposite sex. You can't put humanity in a box. The best we can do is try to explain, and we use these labels to try to teach and explain. But the reality is, although Ty is identifying as gay, one of his close female friends, they might get a little drink and might kiss, and he might eat it a little bit, possibly. I'm just saying, I'm saying possible. You're a gold star.
Anything is possible. Anything is
possible. There's, oh no, you ain't gay now. You was hard too, Tyesse. You ain't gay no more. No, that's pleasure. That is just sexuality, sexual energy and connection. You can't keep defining people by what they do. What did they say they are? Sexually, I'm talking in the realm of in sexuality. Who do they say they are? That is what you should say that they are. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people over there on that Facebook. They are really cutting up. I see them over here. But sometimes you just gotta let them be what they are, because that's what they do.
You can't do nothing about
it's like roaches. You really can't control.
Sign into my Facebook side and block and do anything else. That's assistant. That's what that word means. But I'm live. Why you not online? But you need to be on Facebook, please, sir, that I paid to do. I need for you to go there and then man that. Can you do that? Thanks. Sometimes the assistants just think to be the first 3 letters as opposed to the whole word.
Kendall is the nicest guy in the world. Everybody loves Kendall. I mean, it's like the TV show. Everybody loves Kendall.
That's true.
Yeah,
I know. He is a good-hearted person. But he got another side. Y'all don't know nothing about it. I don't need to tell y'all about it.
Okay.
I don't need to tell y'all about it. But he is a nice person. He is a nice person. However, there's a whole nother side. It come out sometime in the chat.
So to do a slight segue, Larry, the video that you put up earlier, it was really, really insightful about African spirituality and how, I don't know what it is when there's a conversation about, African spirituality and Western and all this. People just do not want to accept the origins of our, how our ancestors worship and how they prayed and some of their practice. Anything outside of what they feel is the norm, it becomes witchcraft, sorcery. It becomes everything but what it is.
That's the whole. But I want to say something about that. But before I say something about that, I want to say something about what I seen in the chat about this gay thing.
Okay, go ahead.
You're not going to hear this from no other pastor online. I've never heard it. But I want you to put it in the chat, and this is going to trouble your programming, your church brain, and Tyesse call it Bible brain. Gay is not a sin and never has been. Now, Bishop Felton will come in here and say something else. That's because he's looking at the book. But gay has never been and is not a sin. That's just a lie. Plain and simple. Just like hell does not exist. Not the hell that was preached to you. That don't exist. And now this really gonna mess with you. Heaven doesn't exist either.
Okay, now you got to talk about that, because we all got our tickets. We've already got our tickets, and they're non-refundable. So you got to break that down a little bit, Larry.
That's not true. There's no excuse for nobody listening to me to be stupid. There's Chat GPT, there's Google, there's DeepSeek, there's Gemini. There's all these sources. You do not have to be stupid no more. People telling you African spirituality is demonic and these masks behind me is demonic. You don't have to be stupid no more unless you just choose.
So where we going, Larry? Where we going?
You're choosing to listen to people who have
No,
been.
I'm saying where we going in the end? Where we headed to?
There is no end.
Oh, you just said that on another live. It's a continuum.
There is no end. It's made up.
Okay. All right. You did. We just did that live. You're right.
And if you pay attention to what they tell you, you can start saying, wait a minute, that don't line up. Because how is there such thing as dead when I die? That means that's the end. But at the same time, there's heaven and hell. Either when I die, I'm dead or not. Which one is it? There ain't no such thing as dead. There's only death. Jesus' death took dead out of death.
Okay.
So nobody experiences dead because it's removed from the face of the earth. It does not exist in no universe. If you're a Christian, this is what you're supposed to be believing about Jesus. That when he died, he got up with the powers of death, hell, and the grave. Does not exist. That's another lie. So there's no need. When you start peeling back things, you're like, wait. It's not going to change your connection to God. It's going to deepen it. It's not going to deconstruct you so severely that you become deconverted. No, this is going to connect you to yourself and God in a masterful, magical, supernatural way. And the spirit world going to open to you, and you're going to begin to see, and you're going to begin to work with spirit, and you're going to begin to see your life advance and grow and change because you removed the lie. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I guess I put it. I misspoke. So I guess a lot of people will ask Larry, the people that are not informed, where does the soul go, or what does that continuum look like? The soul, since it's not dying.
Well, we can only presume, but there are little pockets in the Bible that let us know that there is no such thing as death.
Okay.
So many people that died in the Bible was talking, walking, speaking, explaining after their death, from Lazarus to Moses, Enoch, and all this kind of stuff. Well, Enoch never died. So there is a life after this experience. All of what that is, we do not know. You can't listen to the people that died and say, well, I went to hell, so I know it exists. That's recesses of your consciousness that you go to when you're slipping into transition. Because the angel of death can walk you there, or a life experience or meditation, you can choose to go into that plane. So what people come back and say is just their consciousness and their experiences. We can't accept none of it as the truth. That's why I can't say definitely what's going to happen and what's over there and this, that, and the other. What I can tell you is that spirits that went to the other side have came back and talked to me. So I know they're still alive. They ain't dead.
Okay.
That I know. And another thing I know, that there's no such thing as dead. Because I was sitting in the church as a little boy, and they called for the spirit of Jeremiah to go in my mama's belly and possess me. So either they mediums, or they just believe what I'm saying, that there is no dead.
Okay.
How many times you heard that? The spirit of it, the spirit of Elijah is upon somebody prophesying. Wait a minute. The spirit of a dead person? Are you talking about an ancestor that we're not supposed to be talking about? Because that's why y'all hate African spirituality, because we do ancestral veneration.
Okay.
A crock load of bullshit. I'm telling you, if you just listen in the church, you're going to hear the lie that you need to strip out of your consciousness. Just take it out. It's not true.
And they have weaponized the word necromancy. There's a whole necromancy sector now.
They don't know what the hell that is. Necromancy is you can't even compare necromancy and mediumship. They're not even the same. The medium Now, your Christianese may tell you to explain it a different way, but this is separate from all religion. The medium is literally connecting with your passed over loved one, crossed over loved one. And they are not asking that crossed over person to give them any information about the future of the world. They're not asking that crossed over person to give them power so they can have a rank to subdue their enemies and all this different kind of stuff. Necromancy is connecting with those that have crossed over, who are believed to be dead, dead.
Mm-hmm.
You see how this don't even work. Leave it there. And then asking for those to give them picture of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Mediums don't do that. It's not even the same world. So to accuse Prophet Todd Hall of that is you just ain't smart. And this goes back to what I was saying earlier to Lonnie. If you don't have an experience in it, shut up. So that whole sector, can't none of them prophesy, foretell the future, speak to ancestors. You ain't gonna never find no prophecy that they gave that has came to pass about the future. They should not be. They're just doing clicks and views. They don't know what the hell they're talking.
Oh yeah, it's profitable because there's a whole audience. People just sitting, they soak all that stuff up, all the scaring and the fear mongering. They like to listen to that kind of stuff on YouTube, Larry. It's bananas.
I don't have the stomach for it. But that Dante McClurkin up there talking about all these preachers that violated him. Nigga, how about the people that you trying to take advantage of? And you use your star power and pull to have your pick opinion. See, this how come I can't fuck with him, because he is such a hypocrite. I can't do it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the last TV One special he did, he said that he's probably going to be unhappy for the rest of his life, and because he can't really determine what a woman wants and what makes a woman happy. And so it was really sad, Larry, to just see that be your, unless that was for just the dramatic effect of it.
No, he really feels that he's conflicted.
That's sad.
He had the same conversation with us. He had it with the people at the church he's saying it while we sitting back there talking to all of them. Then when he went to the hotel room, he said, now he had the same conversation to the point of tears. His soul is tortured because he cannot embrace the fact I'm a gay man filled with the Holy Ghost. God's anointing is upon me, and God, am I gay in a sin? That one change in the mistranslation of 1947, and they put homosexual in there, that caused a whole people to be marginalized and a whole people to be traumatized. That was horrendous and it's terrible. And there's so many Donnie McClurkins that don't have the mic and the stage that he have, and they feel the same way about themselves and about God.
I saw that tortured experience, Larry, with the late great Little Richard towards the end. He was going on these religious shows, and it was so sad to see. And I watched his documentary. Everybody should watch it. And they said he liberated a lot of people, but he never was able to liberate himself. And that was really, 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 really the most telling part of it all. That you can minister to people, bless people through your music or whatever, and you are living an actual tortured life because you can't be free and liberated. Crazy.
And it's hard, but it's sad. And I feel sad for him, but that won't make me not read his hypocritical hind end.
Larry, when it's up, it's up and stuck. I can tell when it's up and stuck with you. Is
that a bad thing?
No, you know what it is? It's like, I think Aquarius is, once we see your energy, we can't unsee your energy. It's impossible. And I'm not going to try to fake the funk with you. So
we're in a simulation. You will keep coming back to this earth. You do not pass your test here now. That why people have deja vu. There's some truth to what they're saying, but everybody doesn't come back. Some of us, like I know when I pass, I'm not coming back. I will be an ancestor as a sage on the other side, helping those through this journey who's supposed to bring this planet into Christ consciousness. I know that about me. I'm not coming back. This is it. I already been here before.
Why they don't like ancestors either, Larry? They don't like that word either.
They took it out the Bible, so these dummies figured that it's just demonic. They took the word ancestors out and put forefathers in this place, and they ain't got sense enough to know that forefathers and ancestors are the same darn word. And when you do that, and you go back and read every word forefathers, oh my God. So the Lord does hear the ancestors, and he keeps his promises to the ancestors through us. Their answered prayers happen as a result of us. In fact, we are their prayers. They'll see all that if they just do a Google search in their Bible for the word forefathers. That was originally ancestors.
Wow.
It is part of our spirituality. And that takes us into the African spirituality conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said, I love metaphysics. All of that. See, that Jesus is at the center of everything that I teach, but all of that, metaphysics, numerology, spirituality, astrology, all that, we walking all that out. Because all those things are tools that help us uncover, rediscover our personality and who we are. So it helps us in actualizing. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree, Lachey, because they if it's sage, crystals, even candles, you just want to burn a white candle. That's too much now. Like everything is problematic.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So and I love that some of the members, because Lachey is married to one of the prophets in my ministry who is a woman.
Okay. So
that's what I'm saying here, and I'm talking to you guys, is what I teach, what I believe. And you see the example of what I say in my community.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, they don't. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say this whole video, even though it's from years ago, it was really a great find, to discuss, because so many people, Larry, right now, young and old, are dealing with sexual issues. It may not be sexuality, it could be sexual trauma, it could be all kinds of things. So sometimes people just like hearing a conversation to put something in context for what they're going through and never had language for. So here you talk about it, so many people may get a really great understanding about several things, and hearing us talk about it, that they may not even have a language for.
True. But the times is changing. If you, what I'm saying to you guys, you just do your own study. What you're going to do, some of you are going to elongate your ministry and elongate your life, because the future doesn't want anyone that isn't a fit for it. Nobody's going to fuck this up. The future is bright for humanity around the world. And we are going to advance and grow and expand in our consciousness. You cannot fight it. In and everything that has happened, including Donald Trump and all his bull, is going to be taken by the hand of God and worked into something good that does nothing but causes us to continue in the trajectory of waking up. So there's nothing that nobody can do with what is happening. And you do yourself a disservice holding on to what somebody taught you. You ain't even studied it yourself. You listen to what somebody say. They give you a lens. You pick up your Bible, and that's all you can see.
Yeah.
But if you change the person in your ear, and then you go pick up your Bible, you will say, oh my God, it was in my face the whole time. See, this is why you have got to put a watch over your ear, because the person in your ear has the power to change your ear.
Oh, wow.
So you have to get the right person in your ear so you can have a good year. It don't matter what's happening in the government. I know what's happening in the government. But this morning, if you were alive, now you go to these folk churches that they're trying to pack out and then ask everybody for $100, because that was the old model. A whole bunch of people, everybody give them money, and we're able to do what we got to do. Small is the new big. I had every bit of a few hundred people on this morning, and I can't tell you, they're still coming in with people that were giving $733.33 back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. I'm in the future, and the church is stuck in the past. And because the church refuses to evolve, it will dissolve.
Yeah.
That's just plain and simple. Am I saying it won't never be a church run? I ain't said that. But you already know what the church was. It ain't no more. It's already dissolving. What America was ain't no more. Both of these institutions have to die. Politics and the plantation called the church, they have to die. Because they kept an old order and a toxic, harmful theology in operation on the planet for hundreds of years. It has to die because we are expanding and we're welcoming Christ's consciousness now. Mm-hmm.
Larry, I heard your brother, the late great Carlton Pearson, talk about this concerning
my mentor. He was one of my mentors.
Your mentor. I heard him talk about the COVID, the whole COVID pandemic, and how many churches closed down during the pandemic and after the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And do you believe that there was something divine about COVID or something divinely orchestrated, or do you think it was just a pandemic as they try to push off on us?
I'm going to say it like this.
Okay.
Am I saying God caused the pandemic? God created COVID-19? No.
Okay.
But just like our government took the COVID-19 and used it for their own agenda, God in heaven did the same thing.
Okay. Got it.
COVID was a prophetic sign of the time of change. And we were all supposed to pivot and lean into this unfamiliar, unknown change and how it will affect our businesses, our churches, and everything. And everybody didn't do it. And do you know what these niggas did? When the world opened back up in 2022, they all went back trying to do what they were doing prior to COVID-19. Yeah. They didn't get it. And I'm screaming it online. I started talking about this in 2015. I said in 2020, the church is going to change forever. Everybody must go online. The people are hard changing. They love that. They love what was, and I do too. I love going to church and the power of God coming. We transcend as a people. It's just an amazing experience. But y'all, you're supposed to graduate that. You're not supposed to stay in that all your life. That's for a time and for a season. At some point, you're supposed to literally graduate the full wall experience where you do not need it anymore. I don't need it another day. Am I going to have a service May the 4th in Atlanta? Yes, and I'm going to be preaching and prophesying. Am I going to have Reformation on the 22nd that Sunday morning in July? Yes, I'm going to be preaching and prophesying. I'll do that during the year here and there for those that I pastor and I got to serve these people. But I don't need it if I'm never in another service because I graduated. Now, some people need it. But they're supposed to graduate it. You're not supposed to be in no ministry 2 decades and generationally. All your children come up through that same church. No, what the hell? What is y'all thinking? That's not how that works. Nobody goes to K through 12 their whole life. You go on and on and on and on.
That's true.
Because religion and church is a business, they don't teach that. They don't say that.
Yeah.
They want you to stay in it and keep fleecing you so that you can fund their vision, which is to build an empire to pass to their children, as well as church lands, other churches, real estate, stocks, and take that money and put it into that. So then they can begin to say, I don't take no salary from the church. Of course, not no more. You done invested everything and you got all this money. You ain't got to do that anymore. Tell the truth. The church, you use the money wisely that you made off of the church, and now you're doing well. But see, Pastor don't even tell that truth. But Larry Reid will tell you. I'm going to tell you right now, here's a measure, you guys. If you're in a church that teaches the seed, giving, tithe, the teruma, and that same church does not balance that teaching with investment, you are being fleeced.
Uh-oh. Y'all heard it?
I'll repeat it because this is a measure. If you are sitting under a pastor and in a ministry, and they always teaching giving, and never teach investment, you are being fleeced, and you are being tricked. Because the seed sower and the investor has the same brain. And your pastor, your prophet, your teacher, your coach wants you to have the future that they see for themselves. They want you to have it too. But a fleecer is going to talk to you about giving. And they're going to be investing on the back end. They might share a little stuff here and there with you. And they may share it because look how this works now, because the plantation mindset, Tyesse. That pastor can stand there and brag literally about the couple of millions they have. It make the people who are less fortunate give their money to try to tap into what's on his life, while he don't tell them nothing. But see, the pastor think they preach to people, give them money, that's it. No, you preach. The money comes in. You're supposed to use that money for the advancement of the ministry and the people. Then you turn around and you then teach them something to where they can go and be wealthy.
Yeah.
But the fleecer is not doing that part. It's not teaching you about investments. So you're going to be old and broke when you should be old and experiencing return. First 30 years of your life, learning. Second 30 years of your life, earning. The last 30 years of your life, returning. And that's not just returning your knowledge, what you've learned in life, but you also are supposed to be experiencing returns from investments.
True.
You should be working, except the work of the Lord at that age.
Do you remember that thing that used to be on the wall, Larry? It was a little bulletin board, and then it had how much everybody gave, and they never changed the numbers. It stayed over there forever, and some of the numbers was missing. It was so sad. Like it was like a wooden board, had black and white letters on it, and the numbers would be off, missing, and they just gave up. And eventually, they didn't put them.
Yeah, but see, that's a trick too. Every pastor knows if you give the people a cause, if you give the people a project, they're gonna give more. It's a trick.
Oh, they still have whatever Loretta's church. Okay, yeah. So y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it was a throwback. And then also he talked about, Larry. He talked about how domestic violence went up during that time. During the pandemic.
Oh yes.
He said a lot of pastors were taking out their anger and frustration out on their wives because everything was falling apart. A lot of them didn't know how to restructure or get everything back in line because so many people were not digitally savvy at all. They didn't understand the digital world, the digital age, and so a lot of those smaller churches just really fell by the wayside.
A lot of marriages, pastors or not, they broke up.
Yeah.
A lot of husbands got caught cheating because they were cheating the whole time, but by them in the same house and everybody's so close, they got caught. But that is very true. A lot of people end up getting addicted. The guy I was talking to last night, fully muscular, his scalp got muscles. But in 2020, he was 309 pounds.
Oh, wow.
I said, what happened? He said, the pandemic psychologically messed me up and I just went to drinking and eating sweets. He said, I looked up in 10 months, I was 309 pounds.
It can happen.
I said, what? But I got good, fat, and juicy during that time too. But yeah, that pandemic, we were supposed to pivot. We were supposed to lean into the change of all things. We were supposed to embrace the new and the unknown. And now I'm back now for the month of March. Our theme is navigating the unknown because I don't think people are very clear from 2025 to 2030. And America is going to be nothing but one change after the next. On the earth is going to be war after war, but Renaissance is going to follow this. But it's going to be rocky on our way there.
Okay.
But this is the change of our world as we know it. And there are people still trying to hold on to it. That's really what's creating this chaos. That's really the thing that is allowing Donald Trump to do what he's doing because there's so many people who still trying to hold on to what was. They don't want, whites do not want to become the minority, but it's going to happen. But they're fighting. All of this is about keeping white America white. This is really called Let's Make America White Again.
That's what it is.
Because it's gotten too brown. And that's why the first thing you did is the deport. But I don't care how you turn it. It's going to happen. The whole planet is going to go back to the original hue, which is dark complexion.
Yeah. And that's what they say. DEI is the new N word. That's what they've interchanged it now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, this was a really robust, great conversation, brother. I appreciate you coming on and sharing this to your platform. Yeah, I have to address it because I just feel like, I mean, sometimes when they have those kind of pulpit moments, it's like they don't even think about so many people, Larry, that's dealing with sexuality and struggling and going through all types of crises. It's like they're just in a vortex and they don't see outside of the actual setting that they're in, you know? And it's sad.
It's really a shame. But I'm really, and I talked about this with the contractors. We're gonna have to do some stuff in Patreon with my community because even with my community being as it is, it's not perfect. And what I see is I'm still looking at men and women who are same gender loving who are in the closet.
Yeah. And
I gotta find a way to get them out of that closet. I'm not saying go online and tell all your whole family XYZ. That's not necessary. Unless it is.
Yeah.
But you need to be okay with who you are. Good, bad, and ugly. We're talking about sexuality, so I'm talking about that. But it actually expands beyond that. And I don't like that. I've prophesied live on air to people that I had to curb the prophetic work. I'm looking at them. Their happiness is locked into a relationship with the same sex. But they're in a relationship with the opposite sex and trying to make it work. And it will never work because it doesn't align with the truth of their essence and who they are. So I got to do work to get them free so they can be. Whether that is someone who identifies as gay that really is straight, or whether it's somebody who identifies as straight who's really is gay. They'll get everybody in their truth or whatever it is. And that takes me back to what I said before. So the person who does a same-sex act, I don't care how many times they did it or not, that will never affect their sexual identity. It may take them years to get to, oh, I'm really a gay man. Oh, I ain't gay no more. I'm straight. You never was gay. You was doing gay shit and just calling yourself gay because you was in that culture and in that community. I do believe there's lots of people who saying they're gay now and they are not. They just don't fit the norm.
Okay.
They're different. So they just acquiesce to that community. And then after years and years, 10, 20, however long it takes, then they find out, okay, this is really where I am right now. I was in the fad because gay right now is a fad. It is a trend. It is, especially amongst certain demographics. So we got a lot of work to do, and conversations like this that you created today is going to help that because most of the people here, we're the parents of same gender loving or the sibling of the same gender loving. And so if we can get it and we can start freeing people up, I'm gonna tell you the main thing that's gonna free somebody up. And what I'm saying, none of the people y'all know that I love that I've had on my platform, prophets and pastors, are not going to agree with this. But gay ain't never been, and it never will be a sin. I don't, somebody said bring Bishop Bernard Jordan back on the show. Them was good days. You can go over to Bishop, he's probably on right now, so on Sunday, and go watch. We have we are, for lack of better words, he's not my mentor anymore. That was over in 2024. However, I highly respect him for the work that he did. And he's an absolute prophet. But everybody has the freedom to choose how they move, what they do, what they believe, teach, and preach. This because of something that a direction he chose to go. You won't see him. You won't see him on my platform. You maybe in the future sometime for something else, maybe, but no, because I can't support that, and I'm not gonna put somebody up in front of you who I know has done, said, or support something that is against Blackness. No. Not happening. I'm too Black for that. See, I don't just, people teach and preach liberation theology, but you got to look at behind the scene how they move. If they ain't moving like they stand on the outside, I can't participate in that. I can't participate in that. That's it. And quit asking me that. And why y'all do that? Why you coming here and ask me for somebody our platform you didn't know before, or you forgot that existed during the BET days? I'll bring it back. Now you want him to come here. I do understand when we're together, it's magic. Probably still will be because he's a prophet. Yeah. So we connect in a way. We do. But I can't with that. And it probably will never be unless he say that was a mistake. I shouldn't have did that. It was improper to even talk to do any of that. Until that's never going to happen.
I want to offer this language to anybody that is, because I've been gay all my life. I'm a gold star gay. But I want to offer this to anybody that is dealing with the struggle with coming out and the duality of the both lives. It is a lot. It is really, really heavy at times. And so what you have to understand is that unknowing is what's bothering you. What's going to happen once you come out? And a lot of times, if you're in the corporate world, your church world, all of that is going on in your head, and especially your family. And if your parents are still with you, you don't want to disappoint your parents, your grandparents, whatever. But there is a point in your life where you have to start to understand that you do have to live for yourself. And you have to be proactive in your liberation and your freedom. You have to. Because if you don't, you see people, I've seen in my life elder gay folks who are still living in a closet in their 70s, in their 80s. And it's something when you see it, it's so sad that you would live your life for other people. And there was a great comedian by the name of Marsha Warfield. And she told a story about how her mother told her, don't come out of the closet until I die. You have no idea the damage that does to somebody. Like you come out the closet, but just waiting until I'm dead. So that shows you have to live for yourself. And if some people don't accept you or don't agree with it, then you have to let the cards fall where they may. But at least you stepped out there and freed yourself, if nothing else. So start the process.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah,
never knew that. And she's a beautiful soul. Everybody loved her on Night Court playing the Bailey. Yeah,
but that's what her mother told her. She said it was so hurtful at the time. But a lot of families say stuff like that, Larry. Like, well, I don't want to know about it. Don't tell me about it. And then one of the most dangerous things that Black families do, y'all, please stop saying this. We already knew, we was just waiting on you. You don't know how much stuff people go through and they have been able to tell you about it. If you start the conversation, sometimes that can be freeing and helping someone.
I've never heard nobody.
Please stop saying, we already knew. We knew since you was a child. We was waiting on you. Sometimes you don't even have the language or the conversation starter to go to your mom or your dad or your aunt. So if you feel something, just go and just give them a light nudge and say, you know what? Whatever or however, I love you. And you're always going to be loved unconditionally. If you can just start planting the seeds slowly but surely. And that's how you get that conversation opened up.
Okay, we gotta get out of
Be
hand clap.
75 in the closet, y'all. Now, come on now.
We have got to get out of hand clap. I've never heard nobody say that. I think that is so brilliant. If you got a family member or a child, that is amazing, Tyesse. Just create the conversation of love, empathy, and compassion. And they probably will then see you as a safe place and just dump.
Yeah.
I've never heard that before. I
didn't have a family where it was bad. Like, I didn't have a family where it's bad, but I had a family that was steeped with religion, Larry. And so it wasn't like I was thrown out or get out my house, nothing like that. Because me and my mother, we never had that conversation before she passed away. But I can tell y'all this, as somebody that has had to go out in the streets and take care of myself and hustle and do what I had to do, I can tell y'all this without a doubt, as a matter of fact. When you turn your children away, or when you allow your children to just, fester out here, and something and you could reach out to them, whatever the case may be, they oftentimes go to communities, Atlanta, Chicago, San Francisco, DC. They go to communities, and in those communities, it's sometimes not the best place for them to be when they already have trauma or unsure who they are, because there are people there waiting for them to take advantage of them. When you can be a safe space for them and nurture them and wholeness and wellness. If you do not, they will tend to go into communities, Santa Monica in LA or Hollywood, and then those communities then nurture them. And a lot of times we have great experiences. A lot of times we do not. So you have to be mindful. All it takes is one conversation to turn that thing around. My mother was deceased. I went out, I stayed with my family for a while, tried to work it out. But I heard Tyesse Madison say this, Larry. It's not that I, was rebelling or anything. I just wanted to go out and find people that look like me and talk like me. When I heard her say that, I said, oh, that's what that was. There was just a walking away from it all, like from that whole family dynamic. And it wasn't that nobody said anything awful. There were experiences, of course. Yeah. But I wanted to go out and find people that looked like me and understood what I was feeling inside. And so that happens every day in America, because so many kids just either get on a Greyhound bus or, get an airline ticket and they go out to another city. And a lot of times, you wonder, well, whatever happened to Sue or whatever happened to Bob or whatever. But they had to get out and find a life for themselves, because some of these communities are so restrictive and so oppressive, they have no other choice.
In 2018, there was a woman that hit me up, and she had a gay daughter. And she said, I just found out my daughter has a girlfriend that's older, and I said, listen to me. Be friends with your daughter. Understand your daughter. Don't do that church chat. Okay, all right, I got you. But she went and done church chat. Get her out of the house. She got with that older woman. The woman ended up being a pimp. Pimped her out. The girl got pregnant. She went back home to her mom. Of course, it was a new baby, so her mama, she was still being how she was, but she was pregnant now. This young girl, long story short, ended up dying. The mama came back to me. You remember the situation? I said, all right, let's just look around. I said, baby, I'm going to say this. Keep your seed, because I need to tell you the truth. This is your fault. Dead silence. Tears dried up.
Well,
I said, you pushed this girl into the hand of someone that was going to kill her. And as her parent, you did not see it, because you were so focused on your religion.
Yes.
When the Lord gave you that daughter, parenting is pastoring. You kicked the sheep out the house. When the word said, you leave the 99, go after the one. You kick your one out. I said, this is on you. I said, you had to go to God and sit with yourself and then find the contribution that you're supposed to make in the earth to right that wrong, or though your other children that come behind you and even your siblings are going to pay for it. I said, because it's done under the sun and somebody got to answer for that. It was her fault. And I love what you're saying, because it will remedy situations like this. Your religion should not mean more than your child.
Yeah.
If it does, you ain't never been saved. You ain't never been saved. You ain't never ever been saved during all. Love personified is Jesus Christ. So this whole thing where you're a Christian, but then you supporting what's happening in Gaza. You're a Christian, but you're supporting what's happening in Ukraine. You're a Christian, you're supporting this immigration, this job loss. You ain't ever been saved. You may be a Christian, but you have not been born again. Christ has not been crystallizing your consciousness, because he is love, and none of those acts are love. So you got some work to do. You got more Christianity, more Jesus and the God of the Bible and the Christ of the Bible than you do the real, true revelation of God that's found in Jesus Christ, who is the example and the personification of love.
Hear me good. It doesn't take much just to show unconditional love, And so I have lost so many friends, Larry, and buried so many. And a lot of times back in the day, we would contact families and they would be shocked. And sometimes some of the families would hang the phone up. It just depended on the scenario. And so, because a lot of times, you know, when people go off and leave their cities and their towns, people lose contact, and it's almost like they're forgotten about. I dealt with that so much in my life, that the people that were supposed to love you the most basically just wrote you off. And then when something happens, such as, you know, they may be dealing with the virus, drug addiction, whatever, alcoholism, then they say it was the lifestyle that did that, not the trauma that they came out of and the hurt and the pain that they came out of that led them to that. It was the lifestyle caused all of that. So they often shift the blame on the sexuality instead of everything that transpired to precipitate all of that. So it is a multi-layered conversation. I know it's a late hour, but I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to speak, Larry. I really do.
You gave me the opportunity. This is your platform.
You're on your channel. I'll say it like that.
Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe to Tyesse if you're watching from the Larry Live page. Find them on YouTube, the official Tyesse Report.
I appreciate it.
Please subscribe and follow him. We need, you know, the subscriber count doesn't really matter, but in some situations it do. It does. I'm real country. So just do that, just so he can look in subscriber count the way that we experience him, because he is the best. But some people need to see them subscribers go up. I want to say this. Hezekiah Walker often say, because God is the greatest power, we should not be defeated. Number one, there's no power in God. That's number one. The power is in Jesus, which is the revelation of God. Because Jesus is the personification of love. So the greatest power of God is Jesus. Because Jesus is love. God is love. But we understand God's love through the revelation of Jesus, not the one in the Bible. The revelation of Jesus. That the greatest power in the universe, in the multiverse, is love. So that's Jesus. The greatest power. That's why we don't cast out demons in the name of God, because there ain't no power in that. There's power in the name of Jesus, because Jesus done an act on Calvary that personified love. It was selfless. So that's the greatest power there is. Jesus Christ is the greatest power of God, and Jesus is love personified. Now that's going to mess with your church brain, or like Tyesse.
Ooh, yes, it is.
But you keep playing with it, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
You know, they don't like it. They don't like nothing too deep, Larry. If it gets too deep, they buck against it.
Yeah, George says, "For God so loved the world that He gave." Clearly, but see, they use that and they paint it, and we think about, when we hear that, we think about a certain way. But now that I said what I said, let's go back to what I said earlier. Now that I said what I said, when you read that scripture, you're gonna see it differently. That's why the person in your ear has the power to affect your year. You guys have got to protect your ears from some things. And I understand that sometimes we just like to be involved in different conversations, but some people are dangerous to listen to because the energy that is on them gets in your ear and into your life. That's why I don't allow myself to listen to certain things, because I've got to protect my ears, because ear is in the middle of ear. Ear is in the middle of year. What's going into your ear, you guys, it affects everything. And your ear and your earning is connected.
I saw you talk about something, Larry, a while back, and it kind of like changed a lot of. I still have my moments where I, with the YouTube drama, but I think I've come a long ways.
Yeah.
And I heard you talk about how what you do and what you put out on these YouTube streets, that energy will come back to you eventually. So now I'm a lot more mindful of how I approach every story, because I was in the early days, Larry, I was really out here doing the most, the absolute most. Yeah, but when I heard you say that, you said it matter of factly, that energy will reciprocate. It comes back to you. So just be mindful of how you cover stories and how you talk about people and whatnot, because so many people out here don't even care, Larry. They will do a story. They don't have to know if it's true or false, and will run with it and literally do not care. So I'm glad I heard that. I'm glad you talked about that.
Yeah, those chickens are gonna come home to roast. I mean, I don't know why anybody. You just a smart dude, but I don't know why anybody who watch me and hear me say that, why that wouldn't make them change. Because I am the example of doing it the wrong way. And I'm also the example of doing it a better way. So why wouldn't others hear what I said and be like, I remember that. That's what you got sued and da-da-da. In this case, 6 or 7 different lawsuits. Yeah, there's a better way. I need to listen to you because you probably know what you're talking about. And y'all just see the lawsuits, but you don't see what happened in my life offline as a result of what I did online. That energy, see, you can't get rid of energy. You can only move and shift and manipulate energy. It don't go nowhere. So when you put that out there like that, the way you do it, that energy that you put out is going to come back to the originator. That can show up in your life like sickness. That can show up sickness of your children. Your loved ones could pass away, your pets, lose jobs, struggle in your money. Bruh, you better change that so you can change what you're experiencing. Oh my God, I'm so hungry.
I'm supposed to be meeting Overseer Ware for dinner this evening. So I'm going after the live, I'm gonna go and try to meet him, at least have tea or something. Because this has been a really busy week. Everybody's in town, Larry. Dr. Tony was in town the beginning of the week. I met with him. I went to Malibu and had lunch with Prophet Lovey. That was like just surreal. And so I'm just trying to make my rounds and stuff and try to accommodate everybody.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this: we don't need to be busy when I come next month because I want to see you.
I will definitely make my schedule available. If we got a live, we'll cancel it. So next month in April, right?
Yeah, or either we can go live together.
Oh, that's fine.
That'd be fun. Yeah, but I want to see you. And therefore, I'm probably gonna see Armand too while I'm there again.
Yeah.
That's the only. That's it. And then maybe some actors and stuff like Devon Franklin and some other people that I know.
Well, what's her name? They just got married.
Who?
Megan Good and Jonathan Majors. They confirmed that they really got married.
Great. Let me say this. Jonathan Majors is sexually confused.
Oh my God! Somebody else was just saying that in an inbox to me, Larry.
He's a church boy. His mama's a pastor.
Oh my God! Somebody just inboxed me that. They say he says something going on with him is really confusing. I don't understand it, but I pick it up in the spirit.
When somebody told me, when they told me that he came out to my he was molested by men and women, I said, wait, why is he telling them? Something is going on.
I hope he gets clear, because that kind of energy, it takes you some real dark places if you don't handle it.
A black man raised in the church under his mama as the pastor and spiritual leader is one or two things. Well, they're one thing. Sexually, they are explorative.
Okay.
That's how it is. If his mama's very religious, he said that on his own mouth. He did not have the opportunity to discover who he is. So he is still underdeveloped when it comes to his identity and when it comes to his sexuality. Look at the timeline. Molested by men and women. Then he gets on the couch and talking about they got secretly married. Breaks down and cries. Those tears was pain. It was not joy. When he, just like Donnie McClurkin, he is so infatuated with Megan because she's beautiful. She's a star. She's a woman. This is confirming that he is a man and a nigga in front of his mama and the church and religious community. Ladies and gentlemen, check back in about 5 years.
I don't want to say poor Megan, but Megan.
But that's how she well.
Let me be quiet, honey, because I don't want nobody to say I'm stepping on her wedding.
I'm just saying, congratulations to him. Congratulations.
Megan, baby, listen. Yeah,
I don't think he's been fake with her. I don't think he's gay trying to be straight. I think that he's a human on a journey of discovery. Megan right now is where his focus is, and this is the confirmation of his masculinity. It confirms him too deeply. When I saw them tear crying and stuff, I said that's like it's almost like the tears were like pain relief. So this is weird. And anybody with two eyeballs can just feel that something's off.
He did the same thing, Larry, at the Jason Lee Awards. And Iyanla presented him with an award. And then he went up there and then he just fell into her arms and started crying. And he like broke down. Conflicted. And then Iyanla was patting him on the back and pulling it out of his back. I was like, well, you just getting an award? What's going on?
Sexually conflicted, sexually ambiguous. And this is they put that molested by men and women. That's just so you can plant a seed to let us know if anybody ever come out about something that happened. Who knows? There could have been something that was discovered on his phone by Megan, and then he had to tell her, and then he got live and told it, and then asked her to marry, and then she married him. You know, it didn't make any sense. We didn't need to know that. And there was no occasion on why didn't you say this when your name was being dragged with that whole case and that woman and all that violence and stuff? What's the point of you telling us this now? This doesn't serve your brand. It would have served your brand and softened how everybody was viewing you back then. it made more sense to do it then. Now it doesn't make sense, except that something happened behind the scene or something that's going on in your head and you're trying to clear something.
Mm-hmm.
That was very clear. And I was told that.
The top squad said, Larry, she's an August Leo, Megan Good, August 8th.
Okay, so she's a turn-up girl. And she also needs a lot of attention. So he's giving her that. This is why she married him. He's worshiping her.
Okay.
Don't think that's weird?
Yeah, it's some weird energy going on.
That's what women worship. You know, oh, my husband. He is acting like he the woman. It's weird.
And in that interview that he did with the Hollywood Reporter, he said he basically had to let his mother know that it was not her fault, because the mother took it upon herself, according to the article in the Hollywood Reporter, that it was her fault that she didn't see it or she didn't catch it. And so he had to let her know that, listen, it's, he had to free her, basically.
She was preaching. Didn't nobody probably knew about this. It probably was a shock to his mama because he never said nothing about it. But he had to say something about it. Maybe he's in therapy and
that's a possibility.
It don't make sense. Why he's telling this it don't make no sense to me.
Larry, they say you own it.
This is weird.
It's just a lot of weird.
He's a Virgo?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a male Virgo.
September Virgo.
That ain't dipped and creeped and dipped on both sides of the pond. I don't know now.
Somebody said the Virgos are the original freaks.
Absolutely, they are. Everybody put it on the Scorpio, but I'm gonna tell you what
Will Smith I think Will Smith is the Virgo. Is he? Yeah, Will Smith is the Virgo. Or is he a Libra? Jennifer Hudson, Taraji B. Henson, Tyler Perry's a Virgo. Michael Jackson, Vivica Fox, to name a few, I think.
I don't know no Virgo man that's just one thing. I don't know now. Not sexually. They're fluid.
Well, what is the Virgo? Is it the virgins, Larry? The Virgo? What does that symbolize?
God, what is that? The Virgo? Something. Let me say it, because I got them all in my head. I got to look at it. Lamar PJ said, Mr. Larry, have you ever talked to Donnie about what he is dealing with? Did he deflect or try to sink in what you, Everett, are saying? I remember
one of my followers.
I remember the conversation that day. If Nathan is in the chat, he probably can remember verbatim. Because he was with me. He was one of the ones that Donnie wanted to go upstairs with him. Because his eyes so pretty. So what's that is?
Oh, it's a young maiden, Larry, carrying a bundle of wheat. The Virgo is a young maiden carrying a bundle of wheat. Okay. Romeo, one of the loves of my life. Not too much on those Virgos. No, Virgos are really got great personalities. Great going.
They tend to be a little hard on themselves, and that makes them be hard on others as well. They try to push their standard that they have for themselves on others. And that August Leo, the end of July, August Leo, they tend to do the same thing, because sometimes they show up like Virgos. It's the lady with the bundle of wheat, that's the fertility goddess.
Oh, okay.
So that's where that sexual energy comes from, because that fertility goddess is actually a god of war and sex. Virgos tend to be fighters too, especially protecting themselves and those that they love. But yeah, so that's like the sleeping sex god. Everybody looking at a Scorpio, but the Virgo over there getting it down.
We had a conversation about 2 nights ago, Larry, on my platform about we were talking about Gigi, and we were talking about how people are saying people are coming into their dreams, and I was affected by an erotic dream, and we don't know where they're coming from and stuff. And so we were talking about, you know, the incubus and the succubus and how a lot of people got all that information actually wrong. And I had no idea that it's a little bit deeper than what we've been told about the incubus and the succubus and all that stuff.
First of all, very few people have experienced the incubus and the succubus.
Okay.
What they are experiencing, they're experiencing their own repressed, suppressed desires showing up in the dream world, and their body is responding to that. Most people aren't even significant enough to have a visit from those two twin spirits. Incubus if you female, succubus if you male.
Okay.
That is because they it's designed to steal the seed of the man to make a baby, and to impregnate the woman with a baby. From and the idea is that they're giving birth to Satan's baby. So that's what it is. Other thing than what you said, this girl Gigi.
They say they have to fight off them dreams, Larry. They have to fight out of them dreams.
Yeah, that's your chakra down there. Got a whole lot of activity and stuff going on. That root chakra. That's what it is. Don't put that on Lovey Gigi. You miss the peen. So when you go to sleep, you dream about the peen.
Oh,
you missed getting fucked.
Oh,
wow. by a prophetic scepter piercing the center of your soul.
Oh, there it is.
That's what it is. And you will never get it again.
Yeah,
you would never get it again. Once you lay down with a king, everybody else you fuck after that, it don't mean as much. There is authority, supernatural authority, spiritual power on the tip of a prophet's peen. That's why I say mine has a golden tip. So once you experience that, and then I take it away, you go crazy. It's just simple as that. You go crazy. You try to fulfill it, try to find it, try to fill yourself up, literally. Fill yourself up because of the void that I left the size of my peen. That's just how it goes. Once you sleep with a king, everybody else you sleep with is like, I don't care how good it is. Because there is a certain kind of thing. When you lay down with a prophet, sexual energy and spiritual energy is the same energy. Okay. So just think about that. So if you're sleeping with a prophet who goes in and out the spirit world and tells the future and deal with different disembodied spirits and things like, and you get to be forwrought by them, they come in you. That thing ain't nothing like that. And yeah, there you go. So when you sleep with that power, and somebody else you sleep with that ain't got that power, it's not the same. It's just how it is. This is why women and boys, girls and bottoms, love sleeping with the pastor, or with the artist, or with the CEO, the head. All those are positions of power. Once you sleep with that power, it changes your puss forever. It changes your puss and your bus forever. That puss and that bus will crave that power always and forever.
Is it the same for the woman, Larry? Is there prophetic, puss?
I can't answer that.
Okay. Krista said Rod and Steph. But you do know that is the case for the male. That there's a power and an energy attached to it. Yeah.
The position of power. I will say that older puss is much different than younger puss. There is a seasoning that is in older puss.
A seasoning?
I'm talking about something past Old Bay and Laurie's.
It's a seasoning.
Hey, it's a seasoning of older puss. There's a seasoning.
Oh,
let me just leave that because Tyesse don't.
Wait, I'm listening there. Go ahead. It's a seasoning, like a gravy.
Oh my God! It's the difference between the seasoning you taste at fast food and the seasoning you taste at your kitchen when you done made it and put it there, it's the same thing. That young fast puss ain't got the seasoning I'm talking about.
Yeah, so like you said, like it has 11 herbs and spices.
Yeah.
Like KFC. Okay, got you.
Trust me. If a young guy ever gets older puss, he can run after that forever.
For those in the chat that see everybody saying gate at the end, the Ty Squad and the Ellers who are Ty Squad, we always add gate to any scandal that happens. Like we say, we do a play on Watergate, right? So you'll see them put gate at the end of everything.
Okay.
That's what that gate is. They say Jeremy is here.
Look at that. That's 60-something-year-old puss, DM Henry. You see that? She's a prophet. She says seasoned and skillful. What you gonna do with that?
Oh, Jesus.
You can't do nothing with that. You can't compete with that. That go back to the prophetic scepter. You can't compete with Prophet Peen. You just can't. You can't. There's nobody I've never forrupt that didn't try to come back for seconds and 20ths and hundreds. It's different. Once you get it, that's it. And the person that's getting it don't want nobody else that they get ripped. Women, you know how when you get that man that got that good D, and then he go with somebody else, and you mad that somebody had that good that you get the experience, and you wonder did it feel to them the way it felt to you because it's so good to you, bruh. You get that Prophet Peen, that's it. Po GG. Po.
Ooh, GG, honey. That's why I see Larry telling you why you tossing and turning. And you can't get still in your bed, GG. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
You can't get settled in your bed at night.
You can't forget it.
Sometimes they say you have to go in there and take a cool shower, Larry, a cold shower. But they say that don't help.
You're right. Somebody said this church. Baby, you can't read. Do you see the word church written anywhere? Do you see the title that says that this is the church conversation? Now we are having church, but this ain't church. No, so we get to cuss and talk nasty and everything, and still do the spiritual stuff all at one thing that y'all can't do at church. Well, y'all won't do at church.
Because there's always been intersectionality with the sacred and the secular, and the sacred it's always been that way.
Always. Yeah. I love that.
Talking about a good time, we having a good time. And we get you if you let us. Yeah, I if you talking about Gigi, there's nothing else I can do. Crystal, I'm done.
I don't know why she didn't.
Now she got a jury line, a 14-karat gold jury.
It's late. She was listening to Broke Dummies. Oh God.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Oh
the train has left for Biloxi, Gigi, baby.
It's over, baby. Go ahead, get your Lyft and Uber and start driving. Meanwhile, because bruh, you know the moment is over.
It's gone. And I was trying to tell her because she was watching both our shows. I was trying to tell her, Larry, like,
but you really were trying.
There's a way to do it, but she didn't want to hear it.
You really were giving her I was in the chat. You were really telling her what to do. Oh man, I'm on Tyesse platform. I'm gonna do what you need done. Don't ask me no more. You need a husband.
Who was that, Larry?
I want y'all to come online too, because I want to talk about this issue with Donnie McClurk and what else happened?
We just talked about that on the platform, on his platform.
It's something else happened.
William, didn't you just hear me say I'm live on Tyesse platform?
Oh, yeah, you sure did say that.
Send me that password and everything that I need when I sit down to do it.
I sent it to your ass. It's my email address, and it's Oakland Boy.
I told you I'm live. Don't say that.
I didn't know they could hear me.
Yes, sir, they can.
Yeah, but they don't get all of it.
No, tell you want to tell them hello. They can hear you.
Greetings, everyone.
Hey,
I didn't know he had me live. Tyesse, how you doing?
can he hear me? Oh, I'm fine. How you doing?
Can he hear me? Oh, I'm tired in my body. I'm tired.
Oh,
why are you tired in your body? What was your body
That's
doing?
That's a figure of speech.
It sounds like a confession.
A confession of what?
Well, what you been doing in them Atlanta streets?
Ain't nobody had my body, but a nigga from North Carolina named
Don't you put that out there. Don't you put that. That's a lie.
No, I haven't been Saints. I haven't been defiled like Tyesse and Larry. I'm the good child.
Did you hear that?
listen, I tell everybody, listen, I'm Aquarius. I'm sweet as a Georgia peach.
Well, so he stuck. Oh, you with Prophet? Somebody in the chat said you're with Prophet Brian Mosley. Somebody in the chat.
No.
So it must be the truth.
These folks is like stalkers. Jeez. It's frightening to me. Yeah, he tore it up old school. That's one thing that I really think that needs to be discussed. Yeah, I went to a service tonight, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'll let you all finish, and so I can set mine up. But I didn't realize people were as tacky as they are.
What you mean?
I mean,
what you mean? What is it?
I'm just saying, like decorum. I'm talking about attire. I don't know. Sunday morning always in our house was a big deal. I mean, and I mean, people are just, they look like unmade beds.
Wow. All right, we're gonna be. Are you gonna talk about this tonight? You gonna talk about this on your platform?
That and whatever else. What else happened? Oh, and George Foreman, I was just so sad that he died.
What made you sad about it? You knew him personally?
Yeah, I've met him, okay. But I mean, I just
saying our black icons from going away. I think that's what it is.
I think so. I think the totality of it, and then they're going away, and it's no one to step to the plate.
That's because
it's
that's the close of an era. We don't need nobody to step to the plate. We need the new voices and the new people to show up. We don't need nobody to take over, do what they're doing.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't. We don't. We don't.
They need somebody to take over and help train.
And no,
these people haven't.
But see this. Let me call you back.
I'll call you back. Well trained, and they.
I said I'll call you back.
You the one told me to say hi to the people.
You passed the hi, and you over there into a whole conversation. Goodbye.
You started it. Tyesse, you see how bipolar he is.
Y'all are a mess.
All right, I'll hit you back later, Will.
All right.
Y'all go ahead.
All right, bye.
Hit me up, but I want to do that on Instagram.
Text me this is what I need now. Cause once I get, if they ain't there when I do it, I'll be done.
I did text it to you. I'll text it to you again.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will. Please and thank you.
There's only one William McCray, huh?
Only one. We can't take more than one.
Baby, listen.
One.
What a great live, brother. If William go live, I'll go around there and check it out. I'll be around there to, support.
I think he want us to help him out, but I'm gonna use my sit car.
I mean, I don't mind going on his platform. I just can't,
Yeah.
My platform is it's a little, little too rocky. I would love to do what we're doing right now. How you're streaming me, I would love to do that for William, but I cannot because it's too risky. It's too risky.
It's really risky.
And it's not that I'm being a prude or acting like, because I do after dark and all that stuff, but some of the stuff it may just be just a little too much for some audiences. So
we had a conversation.
Okay.
And he is not going to say anything else about color.
Okay.
He's not going to say anything else about the children that are like bastard children. He's not going to say them. Challenged children. He's not going to say anything else about that. And another thing I mentioned to him, I said, just don't discuss that. Don't say that. Find other jokes or something. Don't do it. He said, you know what?
Those three things: the R word, the colorism, and it was one more: the R word, the colorism, and the bastard children.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And it's not like no one's trying to censor you, but it says those are really sensitive subjects. Really, they are. And they're very polarizing. You can spread audiences like that,
Yeah, you really can. I just don't want nobody to be. I mean, folk can be offended by what we do, but that is you can not do that. I mean, because not fun. It's not that funny. It's not. You don't just leave it alone. Yeah.
Okay. Overseer Ware just said we can meet for a cup of coffee tomorrow at 9 or 10 a.m. Look at God. He turned that thing around. I was to get dressed, but we can meet for a cup of coffee, maybe 9 or 10 a.m. I'm a morning person. Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I enjoyed this conversation with you, Larry. I really did.
Somebody just sent me a message that said, "Oh my God, you love Prophet Love is so much, don't you?" Like facetious.
He speaks very highly of you, Larry. He really, really, really. He really loves you, Larry. For real, for real.
And I love him. And it has nothing to do with church stuff.
Yeah.
It's just, we do not agree on things.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see the same on certain stuff. We don't teach the same on stuff. Our perspective isn't the same. He do a lot of this praise Jesus and Jesus this and Jesus that. It's weird to me. It was like Jesus and Jesus. You ain't never heard this. Jesus, and to me, I don't pray to Jesus. I don't praise Jesus. So when you saying that, I'm like, okay. So we're not the same, but who he is, what I found him to be, he loves people. And Lord, he giving me my gummy to go to sleep. Now this is gonna be a mess. I'm about to take it.
Oh,
but this didn't work no time, so I should be off by time. Let's just hope so.
To take a gummy, Larry, because I get hyper like.
Don't do it.
Okay.
I can just
relax you though, right?
Yeah, but some people it goes another way.
Okay.
That's what I know about you, and you're funny about this, you're funny about that, you're funny about that. Don't do that.
I think everybody, the FBI, the Amazon Prime man coming. That's the police.
Yep.
The DWP man.
Yeah, Cardi B, she don't smoke because it makes her paranoid.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But what was I saying before you gave me that gummy?
You talking about the prophet Lodi?
Yeah.
How you can be friends with somebody and you don't have to always agree 100%.
But I love him.
Yeah.
Y'all love Prophet Lovey. I love Lovey Elias. So who do you pray or praise, Larry? God? Please show me in the Bible where we're supposed to be praising and worshiping Jesus. Show me in the Bible where we're supposed to make a whole religion around him. If he came back, do you know how he would be cutting up? He'll come and cuss them. What the hell is y'all doing? And why you got my name in this word Christianity?
You know, you're shaking tables now there because, like, you know, when people have been taught something for a very long time, when they hear something different, it's just, you know, it's like a shock to the system. So.
That's you talking about idolatry.
It's
weird. No. I don't want to do that.
Tawana said her cousin called the ambulance. Yeah, I had an incident like that with weed, so and that scared me. I never went back to it.
Yeah, don't do that. I can just tell by your personality you can't. Dr. Reid, do you use indica? It's not that kind of gummy. This is a Delta 9 gummy. It has very little THC in it.
Okay.
It's just the one for the high tolerance people. I have a high tolerance, y'all. I have taken that gummy that size, smoked 2 whole marijuanas, the indica, to go to sleep and still be like this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I'd be like this and start writing notes and creating teachings.
Yeah,
yes, my brain is stronger than anything.
Okay.
If my brain is on, you can drug me to the high heavens. It's not gonna work. Yeah. So I try to do it early. It's actually late. I try to do it early so then it'll take about 4 hours for me to start feeling a little bit calm. Yeah.
Okay.
Chris said that's the biggest damn gummy I ever seen.
That was huge. I was gonna say, Larry, that's like a gumball.
It's so tasty. It's cherry. It's cherry. It's so it's so good. Yeah, I love it. Somebody said,
"What's going on with these? What is going on with these?" She's talking about cows. What is going on with these owls? Everybody talking about Larry.
Oh, when she said saying sacred cow, she talking about.
I was thinking about owls, but it's like everybody talking about these owls now. Monitoring owls.
This whole monitoring spirit thing. You know, it's what's that LaGrange man named Tiffany Montgomery. Their whole ministry is demons and rebuke and explaining what a prophet is, what a prophet is not. I'm like, how long are y'all gonna hear the same thing over and over? What else could y'all do at another prophetic conference? And y'all all saying the same stuff that's wrong. I'm like, what the hell is
it? It could be a black crow come sit on your car and they will say that is an assignment that has been sent to you. You're like, oh my God.
Tyesse, why do these people think they're that important to the devil?
I cannot.
What y'all have illusions of grandeur? The devil don't even care about y'all. What y'all saying don't empower anybody. So he ain't focused on y'all. Y'all just conjuring up, making up stuff out of your imagination because you're teaching on it so much, so then it manifests before you. That is not it. That is not it. You ain't that important.
No, not at all. Hey, Miss Pat.
Oh yes, she is a light in a dark place.
Yeah,
but many of us are. But if you listen to her testimony about if she's such a light, why has she been rejected? Why she been pushed aside, ostracized? Because you're light. This is not for lack of better words. This world isn't really looking for the exceptional. They're looking for sameness.
Yeah,
that has just a different color, different shape, but it's still basically the same. So come in as a bright light that is original and authentic. Yeah, you're gonna be demonized and pushed to the side. And
that's true.
Yeah, this is how it is, and a lot of us have experienced that. Somebody said, "Listen to Pastor Gino Jennings for what?"
Oh no, I can't do it. He's a Bible literalist. They take the Bible every word like it's too much.
He tickles me. But no, I'm not going to listen to him.
Ooh, ain't they cutting up over there? They are cutting up on their Facebook. Like, they are in here deep.
What are they doing?
Just the Bible conference, the Bible that they are heavy.
I can't see it.
Repent.
Oh, Kendall is getting them. I didn't see that. Oh, hold on, Amelia Johnson. Can you hit her comment? Let me see something.
That was what I just saw a minute ago. I'm like, man, what is going on? Why y'all so unhappy with life? Okay, wait a minute. Where'd she go?
Kendall might have deleted it.
I can still see it on my end.
Still see it on my end. Well, our end. Please go repent. Don't speak on God's anointed. The spirit of confusion is in here. Y'all are leading people. Who did we discuss as God's anointed?
What is it? Let me go to her page. Well, who is she? Who is Camilla?
She looked at her mind.
I don't know her.
Look at her. Them eyes say, confusion lives here. I am dizzy as hell. Baby, I can look at your wig and tell you ain't right in your mind.
You know what? I cannot.
Who gonna set a wig in the back of their head, then take a piece and sling it right the front, and still your forehead is out protruding it? You crazy?
Oh, there she go. I don't know. Some of these pages be kind of suspect. They be having 48 friends and not a lot of activity. I don't know, y'all.
It's always them hoes.
Oh,
them hoes ain't got no friends. Don't nobody like her breath look like this thing too, which is the reason why her hair is running away from her face. It's actually running away from her mouth.
Oh, she in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stink breath hole.
Oh, Larry, be nice.
No, when you come in here like this, I don't do that. If you come into my chat off, I'm going off.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just sitting here saying be nice, but y'all know how I cut up with these people because it's so unnecessary. Like there are so many channels to watch and so many places you can be. You know, like nobody even sent for you. Like, and then you come, and then when you get the response, then you know the people are wrong.
Exactly. So that's why I don't have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with cussing you out with fake cuss words or real cuss words, or whatever needs to be said, whatever come to my mind to say, I'm gonna say it at the moment. I'll be done with it. But yeah, you don't come in here talking sideways with a wig like that. What was that? Was that 2 wigs? So how did you make it come like this and then a whole nother, like a whole nother wig going right here?
It was probably a fall. It was a fall, and she just made it like it's a fall. Is like what you put your hair into. Like you take your real hair and then you blend it into a fall. It's like, or a lot of women call it like a half wig, right?
I know what half wig. I know what half wig. Okay.
And so she probably just took that part and just went like that. Just took it and went.
That was a mess.
Oh, okay.
She need gays in her life.
I cannot.
That everybody, all these women in gospel, y'all need to get the same gaze that the Clark sisters got. Because them 70-year-old women be looking good and young, and we know that's by the hand of the guys. So if I can listen, when them chicks that got gay people in their life, you can always tell it. They be put together. When
Kim Burrell was going through her little season, you can see that some things was kind of off, like with her, like maybe a couple of gays had left. I don't know, but it was like
a little off.
And like, you know, the air just was a little,
it was years of us looking at her thoughts. You can see all her thoughts at her roots, and then to have somebody else's hair on sitting on top of that. That was not okay. She looked a hot mess.
I felt bad because, you know, I had said, because I had got mad, Larry. I said her edges look like taco meat and stuff. So people, I feel bad, but I feel better now.
She still ain't got. Now she look good now as far as the weight.
She look good now.
She ain't wearing the right clothes. She's still wearing fat girl clothes. She's still putting together like a fat girl.
They say there's a period of transition where you get used to your new body and you can find clothes that work with you. So that can take a while, they say, before you get your right look.
Okay. Anybody know Kimber? Text her and tell her that I said find her 10. Well, she got to have 10. 2 nice gays, and let them change her life because her body looks too good and she's bow-legged too. Let me tell you something about Kimber. Is hot next. A bow-legged woman in the bed will change your life forever.
Why?
I don't know what it is. Them bow-legged women, it's like they, first of all, I'm just going to say it, they're the wettest. Between a bow-legged woman and a crazy woman, because both of them got the best puss in the world. That bow-legged woman puss is going to drip. If it don't drip already because she's hot and ready, once you get in there and you hit everything right, it's going to be running. The whole bed you have to put down the towel is going to be running. It's the best puss in the world. Kimberly ain't fooling nobody. Why she always rebuking and rebuking and rebuking is because she's rebuking her own hot box that's down there singing every run that she's singing. All that sexual energy. Leandra Johnson, you watch them, they pour from their crotch. Every artist knows this, and singer. You pull from that chakra that's responsible for your sexual energy, and you sing from that spot. Leandra, you see her squat down to get the note and pull it right from her crotch. All of that sexual energy filling the church up. And that's what them old saints used to do. That's what Brian Conway doing, preaching against sin so hard, but then there was no puss safe around him. Everybody puss.
Recently, Larry, he told everybody to turn in their roses. Give your rose away.
He should preach that at somebody else's church. He shouldn't preach that at his church. Was he at his church? He was at his church.
I think that was his church. He said, give them roses up, turn them in, throw them away.
A church full of women, he's a single pastor, and you telling them to throw away the thing that they're using versus going out sitting on pins up and down the highway in Charlotte. You setting them up for failure.
Somebody has to satisfy them.
Yeah, because now they ain't got their rose. They're not going to be able to resist you when you text them and say, I'm come over so you can pray with them. Is that a setup, Brian? Or are you setting them up? This sounds like you setting them up.
Somebody say no. Well, I can say this, Larry. At the end of the day, so many people and the church system have to start deprogramming and decolonizing and decluttering their mind. Because listen, we got a long way to go. We got a lot of life left in us, and we got a lot of work to do. But you got to start decluttering and decolonizing and unlearning and all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I use deconstruction, decolonization, because that's what the black mind needs to. The black faith, and needs to go through deconstruction and decolonization, because we have a white man's gospel, and we feel like we don't, but we do, and we have to get back to black. Simple as that. If we don't get back to it, we're not going to have our power.
One of my followers said he was in Chicago, Larry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Either way, he don't need to be preaching.
Yeah, I was going to say, no matter whether Chicago or Charlotte, it was a bit much.
You shouldn't do that. I mean, because you just shouldn't do that. And I understand some people can make things addictive. Well, that's personal. And you could have said something about that. But to just say stop.
Yeah.
Psychologically, that's dangerous. They should wean themselves off. But to say throw them away, so lack of education. Let's go back to what we were saying earlier. Some of these people in the pulpit, they just shut up. Shut up
in the pulpit.
Shut up, because you don't have this. You don't even have the education you need to be effective pastoring. Because who would tell someone that something that they've been doing, like alcohol, stop cold turkey? Some people can do that, but it's not safe.
Yeah, it's one pastor. She's always and on Instagram they clip her all the time and she's so harsh with Leandra. I don't know her name. She's an older lady, and every video is about judgment and judging her and anybody that's in the world, out, you know, in the gospel world, even the secular world. She always judges and condemns the people. And I'm like, ain't this supposed to be a place where people are restored? And they don't even have that type of energy no more, Larry, in the church. Like, it's so mean at times.
They've taken on the spirit of the master.
Okay.
The master is mean, and African is not. African is loving and kind.
Mm-hmm.
We care for nature. We care for people. We raise their children like they were our own. We are loving people. The master.
That's not her.
Huh?
No, somebody put a name in. I looked her up. That ain't her. It's another lady.
Yeah,
go ahead, Larry.
The master is mean as hell. And a lot of Christians, Black Christians, have taken that on. And it's terrible to see and horrible. Sandria Carter saying, is Larry okay? Is your mama okay? Like, I know you asking that for some facetious reason, Sandria Carter. You need to go check on your mama. She's sad about having you.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Her heart is broke every time she look at your ugly ass. Eyeball to eyeball. Lord, how did that animal come out between my twat? I meant to have a child, not a it. I meant to have a child, not a it.
Can we all just get along? Everybody, that was Rodney King said, can we all just get along?
Sandra,
it's talking about that Facebook. That Facebook is, it is no joke. The people over there, it's like they are demons that come out of some type of abyss.
Sandra, you can go to hell now. You can go to hell now.
Oh, her last name is Owen. Okay, I'll look it. I'll find it. But she's always, whatever happens to a gospel person, she's just always judgmental. Nothing encouraging.
Okay, see, Sandra ain't got enough. We got to keep. Can you highlight her so I can get her? You're too nice sometimes.
No, you know, Larry. You know how where I have come from, and so I'm just working on myself. I'm working on my chakras and stuff, and my chalkboards and stuff.
Look, I love you saying stop. You say my name, it killed me. Oh,
her name is Sandria Carter.
I see that. Hope she just put something in there. Why are you being so vulgar? Why are you coming to chat talking about somebody? Is Larry okay? Talking about you. I'm asking because you sound different. I personally had a upper respiratory infection that I'm clearing from. I know you wasn't really concerned. You want me to think that, oh, you just asking the question, why are you so vulgar? Don't come ahead talking to me and talking crazy. I ain't never seen your name given 888 or nothing. So I don't you don't matter to me.
God, really.
So you can take your comment, print it out, roll it up, and stick it as far up your pussy as possible. And I hope you get paper cuts while it's happening. You dizzy hoe.
It's something about that Facebook energy, but then when you match the energy, then people say, "Oh, you're doing too much." You know,
I don't care about that.
I tell us, I will go to the gates of hell with you and shake the gates with you.
What I want you to do, everybody listen to me. When somebody give you the kiss, I want you to bite it.
Okay, let's change the subject.
This is not time to be nice. When somebody come at you, you try to take their head off. And it's to teach people. And the universe recording all of this. So what's going to end up happening? People like that are not going to spin into your world and into your space because you don't show the universe, I don't play with this. This here I don't play with. And so the universe says, he passed that test. He's not a match for that no more. So you got to get him every time and go to the abyss.
Oh, you talk about when I say, oh yeah, I know. I was like, okay, I know what you're talking about.
That is hilarious.
Oh my God, they love me to do that, and they even wanted me to do it on demand. And it's kind of like it has to be organic, right?
Yeah, go.
I can't just do it, but I'm gonna do it right now, Larry. Hold on.
Okay.
Stop. Okay. Dwayne. Wait, stop. Stop.
It's so funny.
Okay,
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
okay, I gotta wait. Stop. Okay. Okay. Let me get my last.
Tell him, my last name is Reid. You stupid. This is not a good setup. You're not even live with me and Tyesse right now, so you can't even go back and forward. You're gonna die in my chat. I'm gonna slit your throat with my words.
Oh,
every single time you try to come for me in my chat. There ain't no there. I'm not gonna do it in a nice way. Male or female, black or white, straight or gay, fat, skinny, it don't matter. I'm gonna read you until I'm tired. Don't do it. Don't do that.
I think I'm ready.
All right.
Okay, I just gotta stop laughing.
Oh, let me not. I think I'm making you laugh. Girl.
Wait. Oh, why can't I do this? Okay. Oh Lord, help me. Okay. Oh, this is bad. I can't stop now. I can't stop laughing. Okay. All right.
It's gonna be another day. You can't do it.
I can't do it. I can't do it now because y'all got me. Y'all got me with the giggles. I can't stop. Hey, you can do this. You can do it. Okay, let me do it. Dwayne, telephone is Elder Jade's.
Those of you that don't know the story, when Dwayne Blood told the story, that was how what he said his mama said when Jakes called him.
And they love for me to do that reciting. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It has to be like in the moment. It has to be very, very organic. But if you remember the video, that's exactly how he said it, y'all.
Bruh.
Oh,
it's so funny. It's so funny.
Better.
It's so funny. Yeah. So
thank you, brother, so much. I appreciate all this. And I'm gonna walk around there and see what William talking about. You know, I'll go around there.
Okay.
You know, I'll walk around there.
I'm not making no promise.
Yeah, and my food is on the way, so you know how that goes. You know,
William is worrisome. I love him, but he's worrisome. He can't do nothing. And I tell him, William, I'm not your assistant. I said, I'm going to do this time. Then they've been, well, Larry, that's one thing I don't know. So, oh Lord.
Crystal said she can't make it tonight. Wait. Look, it's a new movie out, and everybody's talking about it. I talked about it yesterday. Tyler Perry's Duplicity, and so I want to go check it out.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I want to go check it out. That's what I'm about to watch. You know,
definitely watch it. This was a great conversation, Tyesse. You stirred me up and got me up here. I am being texted. Why are you talking? Why are you on the live? You supposed to be getting your attention. Well, when I finished this morning, I laid down, you guys. I laid down and I chilled. So when I saw Tyesse and that conversation just stirred me up. There's certain conversations that just stir me. And that is one of the conversations called sexuality is not discussed. Whether that's straight, gay, anywhere in between, it's just not discussed enough. And this kind of conversation. So I said, why didn't you have a conversation on your platform since it stir you up? I have here and there, but it's different when you have someone. Hold on, Ambrose Johnson. But Kendall just deleted them. Look what it said. It said both of them. Can you highlight that?
Both of them is gay.
Can you highlight? Now look at this. Look, he got his lips folded. Y'all, what straight man takes a picture like
that? These be fake pages. I don't think these are real people. I really don't, Larry.
I can look at him and tell this boy eat cum by the gallons.
Oh,
His belly is filled with the children of men from round about the world, from all the pings he have gobbled up over to and over to and over to again. The fact that you have on shades and a black t-shirt lets me know that you're inspired by me, which lets me know that you really want to fuck me. There is no space and place under the sun where I would put my peen anywhere near any of your holes. Looking the way that you was looking. I'm not even going to drag you the way that I could drag you. But what I will say to you is to take your rancid, raggedy bus hole off of Facebook and go back into your room and fist yourself.
Oh,
right.
Jesus, Joseph, and Mary. All right. Well, and these people, they'll still come. They'll hear and they'll still come.
And he gonna still come and eat cum.
Oh. I cannot.
Oh,
yeah, I feel the same way, Theo. Facebook energy has just always been kind of off, and now it's at the bottom of the vibration. Like
it's church people.
It's like an ecosystem for them type of people.
It's church people that's up there, and older people. It's that consciousness that is passing away. That's why I'm not going to be nice to it, because it is harmful, and I'm going to do my best to make sure that unless you want to be roasted, that you're not going to do nothing like that. And I think that's I enjoy it too. And I would do it until the cows come home. I have endless reads for like this guy that we was talking about with the rancid bus hole, because it's just been used so much. He probably got all kind of fisters all in it, all these little lumps, because he just took peen after peen after peen. I don't think he loved himself. He smelled like cum to me. But it's people like this that we need to deal with aggressively. We don't need to be nice to these people. You come in the comment section trying to, and gay is not even a read anymore.
It's not.
So that let me know that you are old sissy.
Yeah, people don't even, when you say gay stuff now, people are like, hey, what? Well, that's what else you got? Yeah, it's
Krista
not.
Marie. One of my folks, she said, I didn't know LRL was a reader. My last name, baby. Is Reid. And Lisa Tyesse, she was in the chat. I used to do this all class period. In Spanish, just read and joke and joke. I mean, have folk crying, laughing. Yeah. So no, you're not gonna win with that.
I tell you this, y'all. Y'all need to stop coming and then, if y'all seeing what's going on, just you see what happened to the last person and the person before that. I'm just like, you know what? I'm good.
Michael said, I can't do anything. Larry does what he wants. And Nicole, so does he. You can't, and Michael got in his mind to do something, you can't change him. So
allergy season is here, baby. I feel it's the first couple of days of spring. It is here, Larry.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
I walked outside earlier to tell my company goodbye. My whole face was just started reacting. I had to come in and rinse it. I said, what in the world is in the air?
I don't know what they blowing in, but it's powerful.
There's the king of Reid. That I don't do it with him. I get mad. That's true.
I have friends like that. Like, baby, they're not gonna read too long. They be like, baby, okay, let's go outside. I got friends like that. They're not gonna read too long. Like, look, okay, you start getting the best of them. Okay, let's go outside. Let's take it to the parking lot.
Every last one of my friends, that's the case. Because because niggas talk back and forth real quick and joke. And that's our way we communicate. Just talking about each other. But then if like somebody like try to get me and starting with me, it's not one of the days where we're just doing it all with each other and try it with me. 9 times if it's Mako, I'm like, I'm just gonna let you have that. Because you can't take it. He's like, okay, thank you. I just can't. Because Mako literally gets mad and be ready to fight. Because there's no hold bars. If you come at me, and see, what I do here online is the watered down. When there ain't no cameras and the world not watching, it's worse. I mean, there's no limit.
No limit at all.
And I think you guys really need to do that because you've taken a lot. You've taken a lot. Don't let anybody play in your face like that no more. That's over. You're not doing it no more. Especially people that ain't on your level. Teach them not to do it no more. Get them good. I told somebody other day, and this is a friend, and said, no dog, that was the day. And said, I don't know why people that are basically talking like they rich. Now they make 6 figures. They could be sitting on $500,000 right now if they had any kind of financial conduct and character. So if I let them say everything they said, I said, so why you look like that? I said, because I don't know what you're speaking like you rich. And I know you broke. And I could just tell in that moment. And then after I said, I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, that slipped out. And they look like, you know what? Sometimes you just said it the wrong way. I said, what other way I'm gonna say that? Because you're not in reality. What other way am I gonna say that? You're not in reality. You are broke. And you're talking like you're rich just because you make more than most. You're in the top 10%. That don't mean nothing. You just broke at a high level. Don't you still need this paycheck I'm about to give you? Yeah. But then how different are you from the person who making $30,000? I know some people that make $30,000 a year always got money.
Was it in front of somebody, Larry? Was it in front of people?
No, just us. Face to face. I'm just saying, you can't, we good, you my friend, everything, but you can't talk like that to me. And then I sit here as your friend and let you stay in that delusion. No, you are broke. And the only reason why you traveled all these countries is because I paid for you to go with me. You didn't pay a dime. So you can't afford the lifestyle that you actually live in. Because you better hope I live always and don't die. Ain't nobody else gonna pay you what I pay you. I pay some of that got to do because you good at what you do, but some of that got to do because of our closeness. About $100 or $200 or $300 is extras on top of that because we're friends. But don't do that. You can't do that in my presence, especially my friend. Oh no, we can't.
Doing too much.
Right. George said, I'm not the bigger person in 2025. Larry neither. Michael said, it wasn't me, y'all. No, it wasn't him. This commentary, next level. Show your support. Thank you, Crystal Marie.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Liking the video helps that one. Yeah.
All right. Well, my food just came. I'm about to watch this movie. Now, I did see one of my favorite. I've had him on the show, Will Horn, and he gave it a critique on his page. I'm not going to say what the critique is for the new Tyler Perry movie. I'm not going to say it because I'm on Larry's platform, but I'm going to watch it, and then I will tell y'all what my critique is concerning this, right? Okay, I'll tell y'all what my critique is once I watch it.
Thank you for suggesting for me to watch Beauty and Black. It was excellent.
It was really good. And you have to understand Tyler and understand his ethos. Like some people, listen, I'm not expecting Downton Abbey when I watch Tyler Perry Productions. I know his aesthetic. I know what he's going to do writing wise, y'all, and I govern myself accordingly. So I, some people, they just like to complain just to complain. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, but most of them still watch. They talk about it and then they still go back and watch every time.
And that's how they do us. I don't know. It's a black folk thing. They be in the church, talk about the pastor at the dinner after they done left church. They get at a job, go to the job, make friends with people that talk about the job and the supervisor, but you expect to get a paycheck out of there. You talk about that pastor, you expect to make a withdrawal out that ministry, spiritually and psychologically and emotionally. But you're talking about it. Why are we like that? That is from the plantation. We have got to get that out of there. We are not going to kill somebody behind a wall and then in their face show up a certain kind of way. We got to get rid of that hypocrisy. Either you're going to have to find you another church, or you got to change your behavior and start speaking positive about your church and over your pastor. I hate that.
Yeah, because Tyler Perry's still going to get the views. He's still getting your viewership is making his numbers still what it is. So it's like you're not hurting him. Yeah,
I agree, Diana.
Yeah, I agree, and I can't wait for season 2 that's already been approved. So we'll see how it goes. But later, I do need you. Huh?
That's season 3, ain't it?
Beauty in Black. It was in 2 parts.
Oh, okay.
Part 1 and part 2.
Okay.
And so a lot of people think it was a season, but no, it was part 1, part 2 of season 1. He broke season 1 into 2, basically.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you know they did that in 10 days? Didn't they know it was there?
I believe it.
Nancy, Beauty in Black, 10 days? Or was that movie? The movie, Tyler Perry movie with Taraji was 10 days. They done that movie in 10 days. How long did the man just said it was less than a month. They done the whole thing in did he say, I think he said 2 weeks. 2 weeks they've done that whole Beauty in Black.
Wow.
That's
good actors. He got Debbie Morgan. He got, Mama Tina's ex-husband. He got a lot of people, seasoned actors in there, along with up and coming and new actors. Terrell Carter. He's got a lot of great people over there. So.
Terrell did excellent.
Yeah, really good job.
Now he's from Tyler Perry original play days.
Yeah, Diary, Medea. Yep.
And that nigga can sing.
Yes.
I don't know if I could have played a part. Well, he's younger than me, so his butt ain't fail yet, but mine done fail. But I think some of this got to do something with weight. But they showed his whole bread basket and half naked in that thing. I said, surprised he agreed to do that. But then again, I ain't, because you can tell he like
Tyler, that is something that I noticed is part of his. He likes to show different angles that he know people want to see, Larry, men and women. And so he's very keen on them angles. And it'd be just a perfect angle. So
a gay man's angle.
I didn't want to say that, but
he's know what he's doing.
Yeah, that's the angle everybody want to see.
That's what everybody want to do. Tarleton Walker, thanks for saying that, brother Larry. I just had a light bulb moment.
That's one of my followers.
What was it there? I want to have it too.
Yeah, Justin Yates. He do. Tyler, like sometimes you can tell when he's like going through one of them moments because he'll just say stuff like, it'll be dialogue like, I'm going. Are you really going to go? No, I don't want to go. Well, why are you going? I don't know. It's like, come on.
I can't. I hate when he was doing that the whole time in Ruthless and in the Haves and Have Not.
When are you going? I'm going now. Okay, right now or right now?
I would literally walk out the room, come back, and they're still saying the same 4-5 words different ways.
I cannot. That's when he's going through a little moment where he's like, trying to figure out where he's going with the storyline. So I don't know. But Larry, make sure you also watch the piano lesson. We talked about this like a month ago.
Oh, I watched it.
You did?
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
Because I was telling people about that piano, and then a lot of people, they was pushing back because they was like, it was a gift, an ancestral gift from somebody. And I'm like, I understand that, but if it's causing problems in your house, I don't see nothing wrong with passing it along or giving it away.
Right, exactly.
I'm not gonna keep nothing in my house that's talking or shaking the windows. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Hey, Larry Reid Live, you look amazing. Are you still on GIP1? I just don't know what it is, baby. I ain't on
Hey,
it.
yeah, he does, Terry Bentley, yeah.
No.
Complaining, speaking negative about the job, then showing up with, oh yeah, we have that bad. Black people have that bad.
You curse your fruit. You betray your own progression when you're in a church where you're talking about the pastor negatively or about the ministry negatively. That is crazy work. When
if it's that bad, just leave.
Hell yeah. Same thing with these people that are married, and then whenever they get with their friends, they're only talking about the spouse negative. Then you go home and smile in their face. That we do that. We go to these jobs and we hate the job and we hate the boss, and we go there, clock in, and talk about it religiously and make no changes. Don't do that no more, Black people.
The least you can do is be authentic with your communications.
Yeah, and don't betray yourself. Yeah. Love the breakdowns. Like, subscribe. Thank you, Crystal Marie working.
Well, Crystal Marie is taking her new job as mod. She's taking serious. She ain't playing. She will be getting a promotion. She will be getting a promotion very soon. Love by Crystal Marie.
Sherry Willis. Oh, Joe, don't. I ain't gonna stop him. You just say, "Oh, don't be too hard on people." Ain't that crazy? How the Aquarius thing work? We don't want. We always try to protect people, even people that don't always do us proper.
Oh yeah, I have that. Bad.
But then the flip side, we cut everybody at the throat. It just depends on the day and the moment. I'm about to tell Joy, don't do too bad, but no, she came in talking crazy on me. Get her. In this season, I'd much rather apologize than let you walk free. After I get you, then I find out I'm wrong. I'm sorry. I make that right. I'm so sorry. I'd rather do that than let you walk free in this season. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
No.
Going through this now at my job, Carolyn Lewis. Yeah, it happens.
Hey, John Taylor in Hawaii. How are you? You need to subscribe.
Yeah, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. All that helps everybody's algorithm, y'all. It really does. That like button. It's the least you can do is hit that like button, everybody. Thank you so much. If nothing else, hit the like button. Thank you.
Exactly.
All right, brother. I'm gonna watch Duplicity. I'm gonna eat my food and overseer where said we'll have coffee or tea in the morning, and so
Zephyr, I could have sworn some time ago he said he was on it. I could be wrong. I just started. I didn't mean to be offensive. I thought he looked amazing. Okay. Sherry, did I get her?
No.
Okay, I didn't get you, so I ain't got to apologize for. But no, let me tell you what happened. This is what you heard. It wasn't a Ozempic. It was tirzepatide. Okay, so everybody know I started my weight loss journey August of 2020. In 2023, my back that's already were bad. That's why I get massages so many times a week, and I go to chiro twice a week and massage therapy 3 times a week.
Okay.
If I'm working more, all of that has to increase. So, and I do that now to prevent ever getting to the place I was in 23. In 23, it's like having 5 toothaches at the same time, but in your back. Excruciating pain. So that happened in 23. I was doing 10, 20, sometimes 30, 40,000 steps a day. Wasn't eating past 7 o'clock. This is how I lost the weight. White bread, no sodas, no juices. Cut back on pork. Cut back on beef. I may have X1 of them out for a while during those years. And then I only drink water. And then that for 3 years. And I'm on some form of that even still today. The biggest thing I add to that 2 things is nibbling, grazing all day from the time I wake up. The whole time I've been sitting here, I've been eating the whole time. One red grape after the next. So eat nibbling all day long, grazing, and steps. People don't know this, but when you're overweight, you need to walk.
Yes.
And walking takes away. I walked from 241 pounds down to 190 something. I walked it off. But when that back pain went, which I know now that I have 4 bulging discs, 1 herniated. So that's why the pain was horrible. And then in addition to that, my sciatica at my age started up. So I was in serious pain. So in 23, I couldn't walk for several months. And I gained 10 pounds so fast.
Yeah.
And I remember my sister, who had a gastric sleeve, when she was losing weight and lost, before she had the gastric sleeve, she lost 100 and something pounds. That got her down to the 300s, I think. And she hurt her knee. And she started putting her weight on, and that's when she done gastric. I done the exact same thing. They told me to take a certain amount. I never took that amount, I don't think. And if I did, it was 1 dose, and I said, that's too much. And I cut it. So that's when I started taking that so I can get that 10 pounds off. And by that time, I started walking more. I'm not back at 10, 20, 30,000 every day. I'm not back at that yet, but I am back moving now. So, yes. So that's what you heard. So I can see how you got that mixed up.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Swimming has done wonders for my back and my book. Yeah. Swimming is always, but you know, most Black people, they either scared of water or don't know how to swim. So, you know.
True.
Yeah.
That is that pain is I don't know what to tell you. And see, that's all in addition to me I have muscle spasms regularly. It can be in my calf, the bottom ball part of my foot. Oh my God, it hurts bad there. Just anywhere muscular. That started from preaching. So I used to preach how many days a week? Oh Jesus, for years, all the time. And then I was singing and leading worship, doing prayer revival and stuff all the same time. So in one service, I'm probably up on my feet 4 hours the entire time because I'm probably presiding, helping the praise team preach and stuff. That went on for years. And during the course when I would have to preach back to back a lot, I mean, because I preach, when I get into a preach, I preach hard. And I started I thought I was dying, but I kept pulling the muscle cavity around my heart. And it would be pain like I'm going to die. And so that's when I started just trying to take care of myself. By the time I stopped preaching many times a week, which that stopped in 2016, I couldn't turn my head to the left. My shoulder was this high over here. You know, like I walked around like this. I had disfigured my entire body.
Oh, wow.
Preaching. And so that's when I started my chiropractor stuff. And once he fixed this shoulder and fixed my neck, because you know everybody naturally curves and your skull sits on top of it. How about mine was the opposite way? It didn't curve like this. It curved the opposite way.
Oh wow.
I was walking around in pain, literally and figuratively, pastoring people and helping their life be better.
Yeah.
And not taking care of myself.
That's how it happens.
That's exactly what happened. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That pain is unlike anything I've ever experienced.
Oh, it's really, back pain is no joke.
No worries. No worries. All right, I'm gonna let you go. It's 11:02. This was great. I love you, Tyesse. I can't wait to see you next month.
I can't wait to finally be in person, because you know we see each other virtually so much, we just don't even realize, like, you know, there is a connection that you can see somebody in real life as well. Like,
yeah.
Well, we're so used to this being virtual, so
yeah.
I can't wait to see you in person.
Yeah, it's been great, and I hope you come to Reformation this year.
I will definitely do my best.
I already know you're scared of planes.
No, I'm not scared of planes. I just don't like flying over water. So LA, okay. I just don't like flying over a long period of time over water.
Me neither.
Because I don't know, like, if something happens, where are we going? We cannot turn the plane around. What we going?
But how many times we get in the car and think about what'll happen if I don't, So
yeah,
we don't,
that's true.
But the ratio driving is way more dangerous.
Yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
So you just got to just get on there and trust God, and you're gonna land. You're gonna make it to your destination. Anywho, I'm gonna end because I have to end the live and for his live to end. So, Ty Squad, thank y'all so much for coming by. LRL community, thank y'all so much for coming by. I will be live probably tomorrow. I'm gonna meet Overseer Ware in the morning, and then I'll be live probably in the evening or late afternoon on tomorrow. If you want to support our platform, Ty Squad, you know what to do. All our information is at the bottom of the screen. I want everybody to have a phenomenal night, and we will definitely do a review on duplicity on tomorrow. Some kind of review, a pre-review, and then y'all can go watch it or whatever. All right? All right.
God bless y'all. Bye, LRLers. Wole leap of love. That's the way I see it on.